620 CKRM presents today's anthem singer from Meadow Lake, Piper McFarland. Please join Piper as she performs our national anthem in English, French, Michif, and American Sign Language.
There you go, the national anthem gets the fans going here at Griffith Stadium as we'll get to our we'll get to our Quality Tire, pardon me. Coin toss in just a moment. Quality Tire with 9 locations across Saskatchewan at qualitytire.ca. The weather, sunny, south wind 17, gusting 25 right now, so it's taken a change, Luke. We don't have that barbecue scent coming in from the pregame tailgate party, which is unfortunate, but
as long as we don't have the cow manure smell, we're good.
We're good. The farm fresh smell, as we like to call that.
I'm calling it cow manure. It is what it is.
There you go. 23 degrees here at kickoff as we see this football game at the University of Saskatchewan. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers will be wearing their white jerseys with gold pants and blazing with blue socks and, of course, the blue stripe down either side. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are wearing their home red-green jerseys, the white numbers, the green pants, as well as the green socks. So it's an all-green look here for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in this their first home game, if you will, of 2026. Tim Croker from Saskatoon, who is a very experienced official in the Canadian Football League, is joined by our Lieutenant Governor, as well as Tim Gitzel from Cameco, and I believe that Mr. Gitzel will have the opportunity to flip the coin.
Game 2, big game tonight, Hobie. Time to get amped up with the next gen energy computer. You want to do that? Oh yeah.
So there you hear it. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have won the coin toss, and now will receive the opening kickoff. I don't think that's a surprise, is that I believe the Winnipeg Blue Bombers want to manage the reps, from what I understand in the conversations that I had with some of their team personnel today. They want to manage the reps for Zach Collaros, so you get them the ball first, you can go on script, and then you can make the adjustments however you see fit.
Well, that's what we talked about in the pregame, right? You have an idea of how long you want to see certain guys, how long you want them to go, but then the game starts and the logistics change based on how much success either offense has against the defense, right? Again, you could want to see a guy for 2 quarters. Turns out he's a defensive player, and they're going 2 and out, and nobody's testing them for 2 quarters, and then you don't have an evaluation that you wanted to have, right? So I think that you're right. It's an easy win in terms of managing, especially when you're looking at the face of your franchise, Zach Collaros.
So the Saskatchewan Roughriders will move left to right as we see it. The wind will be in their face here in this opening quarter as they get set to kick it off, and on to do the honors for the Riders is number 72, Jonathan Kim.
And normally kickoff, return, it's the opening of the game, but it's not really taken seriously by a lot of folks that aren't football enthusiasts. Just the diehard fans love it. But again, we got to know that special teams today for either team is going to be absolutely humongous. When you talk about the depth battles on both sides of the ball that are going on during their training camp, this is how you're going to make this team on special teams, right? You're going to make this team on special teams. That's probably what every coach has told these guys in Winnipeg and in Saskatchewan. So this should be a headbanger to start off with.
So getting set to whistle it in is Tim Croker, has his arm in the air. Jonathan Kim has Marched off his approach for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, back to receive Dorian Singer and Matthew Peterson for the Bombers. And for the first time in 31 years, a CFL game is being played in Saskatoon. Singer takes the ball at his 25-yard line, up to the 30, makes a man miss, still on his feet, across the 45, pushed out of bounds at the Riders bench at the 46-yard line. And here comes Zach Collaros and the Winnipeg Blue Bomber offense.
Dorian Singer is an explosive player out of Wyoming. Winnipeg's going to take a hard look at him. The Riders come out, and again, we're talking about a massive battle, looking for defensive ends and pass rushers on this defensive front.
So play whistled in by Tim Croker, just underway here at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. We're scoreless. I'm Dave Thomas. He's Luke Mullender. Glad to have you along. Lone back in the backfield is Brady Oliveira for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's a 5-receiver look. The Riders put 5 defensive linemen up on the defensive line. Lots of pre-snap movement. Collaros back to pass, guns it. That's over the middle and complete down to the Riders' 45-yard line. Hauling it in there, the new Bomber, Tim White, signed as a free agent in the offseason, and it's a big first down reception.
Just remember, Tommy Condell was brought in to move the needle offensively. Winnipeg wasn't very good offensively last year. They had a decent defense, but that was something they wanted to address right away in the offseason. They bring in Condell, and Collaros on his first rep goes and gets a first down.
And it goes to the Riders' 44-yard line on the left-hand hash for Collaros. In the gun, hands it off to Oliveira. Not going to go anywhere as the Riders do a nice job of clogging up the middle and making a tackle for maybe a loss of 1.
And already you're seeing more in terms of play calling from the Saskatchewan Roughriders and defensive coordinator Josh Bell. We were very vanilla in the game against Calgary. They start off with a double eagle front on their first play, and they run games with the linebackers. Here they bring a blitz because they anticipate a Brady Oliveira run, 2nd and 11.
So it is a loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11 now for the Bombers on the Saskatchewan 45-yard line. Minute and a half gone in the opening quarter, still scoreless in Saskatchewan. 3 receivers far side, Riders show blitz, they bring it, it's Josh Woods near side, can't get there, Collaros flings it, and that's complete again. Coming up with it was White in the far side flat. He'll have a first down up to the Saskatchewan 30-yard line before being wrestled down by Jameer Thurman.
Just too much time. You're blitzing, you're running 5 guys at Zach Collaros. The Bombers pick it up well. Collaros is able to move around, go through his progressions, finds an open target. Desmond Evans finally gets there, but a little bit too late. Bombers threatening to score on the 30.
12:57 now to go in the opening quarter, as the Bombers have a fresh set of downs at the Saskatchewan 30. Again, it's placed on the left hash. 3 receivers go to the far side, now 4 for the Bombers pre-snap. Saskatchewan brings an extra defensive line up near the lineman. And now back to passes. Collaros has time, flings it far side, jump ball, it's up, and it's caught. Nice catch again by Tim White, and these two have got chemistry in White and Collaros early, and another first down into the red zone.
Nice catch is an understatement. This is beautiful. Tim White, he's about 15 yards downfield, starts working his way towards the sideline, and again, Collaros, a lot of time in the pocket to go through his progressions, finds Tim White. Tim White goes up and gets it. I mean, he's not known as a guy to go over the top of these 50-50 balls. Great execution from Winnipeg to begin this game in general.
Ball down to the 8-yard line of Saskatchewan, well inside the Ashdown Furniture Appliances and Interiors red zone. As Zach Collaros remains in the gun. 1 back in the backfield standing to his left. 3 receivers come near side. Collaros back to pass. His time, flings it far corner in the back of the end zone, but that's going to be incomplete. Kind of twisted and turned away from the intended target and falls incomplete. He was trying to connect with on that far side Christian Fredrickson.
Christian Fredrickson of Idaho State stands 6'2". Again, one of those guys battling for a spot that seems to be wide open. Again, I really get the feeling that Winnipeg's trying to get a little bit younger at the wide receivers position. Good defense there by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Not much for Zach Collaros to throw to. Had to put it in the back corner of the end zone, just to give his receiver a chance.
2nd and goal from the 8-yard line for Winnipeg. Right-hand hash. 5 receivers set. Oliveira, the lone back in the backfield. He'll move to the left of Collaros. In motion is Tim White. Collaros to pass, looks, now feels the pressure. Scrambles away, far side to the 10-yard line. Now he pumps, now he's going to pull it down and get pushed out of bounds at about the 2, as the Riders do a nice job of staying composed with their players downfield, as Collaros, the veteran, kept his eyes pointed that way the whole time.
Well, this is a lot better pressure-wise from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You've got an edge rusher that's getting some pressure. I believe it was Jalen Pate. But more importantly, the interior is also collapsing the pocket, so Zach Collaros is forced to find anywhere just to run. He does. Vintage 2015 Zach Collaros gets him down to the 2-yard line, 3rd down.
Well, here we go. It's going to be A third down scramble here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Northern Fireplace Barbecues and Smokers from the Riders' 2-yard line. Interesting short yardage situation as there's no more Chris Strebler in the Bombers as the handoff goes to Oliveira to the goal line. No signal yet. Bomber stays in, so do the officials. Touchdown Winnipeg.
Well, this was just fantastic execution from the opening snap by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They called every player they wanted to call. They get a situation that's probably off schedule. They get a second, third down and goal to go situation from the 2-yard line. They execute their short yardage offense. Great work.
2-yard touchdown plunge from Brady Oliveira, and I was mentioning third down situations with no Chris Strebler and Terry Wilson, the 2 quarterbacks that ran short yardage for the Bombers last season, not in the lineup or with the team at this time.
And a good test for early for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in this young defensive line, right? I mean, you don't have very many. Mike Rose is your oldest guy. You got Ali Saad, Kendi Charles, Devin Adams in there.
Brady Lidster comes on to kick the extra point and converts. And Winnipeg is a 7-0 lead with 10:51 to go in the opening quarter. We'll take a break, and it's Rider football when we come back. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Just inside their 15-yard line.
And Matthew Sexton making such a good impression on Rider Nation here in Calgary. Hopes to build on that.
High swirling kick going to go right to Sexton at his 8-yard line. He'll start up on this near side to the 20. 25 gets upended there. Big collision. And the Riders are going to start deep in their own territory with the wind in their face. And Trevor Harris, the Grey Cup MVP, jogging onto the field. Completed 73% of his passes last season, over 4,500 yards passing, 24 touchdowns to 11 interceptions.
Well, you saw Winnipeg come out with their first-team offense, and they executed really well. Hopefully the Saskatchewan Roughriders and Trevor Harris can do the same thing. You do have 2 new guards that aren't full-time starters, and Jason Williams and Eric Anderson in there for the green and white.
Riders bring Morgan Runge in along the offensive line for some added muscle as Harris fakes the handoff, flings it far side. That is complete. Looked like Sam Emelis across the 30 near the 33-yard line. Nice gain for the Riders of 9 on first down.
Well, the Riders bring in their run-heavy look. They've got they've got their fullback Morgan Runge in. They got a double tight end look. It's a play action. They fake the run, go to the quick slant, and already you're in a 2nd and 2 situation where in the regular season you see Tommy Stevens, and that's who's out there.
And it was Keyshawn Johnson that made the catch. My apologies. So gain of 9 on the play, and Tommy Stevens, as you mentioned, comes in on 2nd and 1. Backfield will empty for Stevens, goes to his right, puts the shoulder pads down, going to drive forward near the 35-yard line, which will be good for Cooperators Bazandowski Insurance and Financial Services first down.
Have we settled on a nickname for Tommy Stevens yet?
I think it's still up for debate.
Still up. There's a lot of nicknames going around. There's not a potential nicknames. You're looking at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, some interesting names over there. Caden Jadens, Deshaun Dixon, Kamari Munier-Bailey. They've got a lot of guys that are vying for that spot opposite Willie Jefferson, and also they're going to have to think about replacing Willie Jefferson at some point.
First down and 10 for the Riders at their 35, left hash for Harris, who's in the gun. Winnipeg brings pressure. Harris sees it, but he throws it complete. Johnson to the 40, 35, foot race down to the 26-yard line. He beat his man clean, Warren Burrell off the line. And Keyshawn Johnson, who had to watch the Grey Cup due to injury, makes a huge play in his return to action.
Well, they pick up right where they left off. Trevor Harris has all day in the pocket here to go through his progressions. Finds Keyshawn Johnson running a little bit of a post route off of the numbers there. Fantastic throw. Harris has been accurate all summer. It's looked really good. Keyshawn Johnson looks to be in mid-season form.
Big catch to Keyshawn Johnson, 48-yard reception, first down Riders. As they set up on the Winnipeg 27-yard line. Players crowd the line, fake the handoff. Harris to pass again, over the middle, has a man, it's complete, down to the 10, still at the 5, twisting, turning to the goal line, but gonna stay out. Big catch for Kean Schaefer-Baker.
Kean Schaefer-Baker, more time for Trevor Harris in the pocket, another clutch throw. Baker's coming across the middle. Trevor Harris finds him. Baker with some tough yards, gets him down to what, a 2?
Riders gonna go tempo inside the Ashdown Furniture Appliances and Interior Red Zone. Harris under center, hands off. A.J. Ouellette, airborne, touchdown! A.J. Ouellette punches it in from 2 yards out, and the Riders offense says, anything you can do, I can do better. And we're appending a point after tying this game.
What a treat for everybody here in Saskatoon. You haven't had a CFL football game here in Husky Stadium in over 30 years, and right off the bat, you get two offenses that are clicking. Great to see it.
A.J. Ouellette. A season ago, he punched into the end zone 9 different times, 8 on the ground, not once as a receiver. And he gets one here as the point after attempt is coming off the foot of Alex Hale, who was 1 of 2 last week.
Yeah. Well, Alex Hale and Kim are in here competing for a vacated kicking spot now that Brett Lowther, Grey Cup champion in 2025, is taking his talents to Ottawa.
Clean snap, good hold. Hale's kick is up and does sail through, and we are tied at 7 with 7:49 to go in the opening quarter. Time for a break. More from Saskatoon in a moment. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Running his team down there on the first series and scoring a touchdown. One gets the feeling that he might be on the clock here as this first quarter, moves on.
Alex Hale approaches and kicks it off for the Riders, an end-over-ender. Going to be fielded by Kyrie Wilson back at his 15, up to the 20, 25, 30. Going to be met there. Not much of a return as he gets up to the 32. Nice job of getting downfield. The Riders' Trey Tomlinson makes the tackle, and here comes the Winnipeg offense. And it's already going to be Taylor Elgersma in at quarterback.
Yeah, I anticipated this, right? You got the feeling that might have been it for number 8. Comes out here, he looks great. He's moving around well too, right? And that's something that once you get a little bit older, the fan base stops wanting you to move around as much as possible. But he looked good, and now Elgersma, who's just been this, I don't know, this unicorn that everybody's been talking about, but nobody's actually seen. We finally get to see number 13 and everything that everybody's been talking about out in front of us live for the first time.
Second round draft pick last year in 2025, number 18 overall, the Laurier product. Had workouts in NFL, including a stop in Green Bay.
6'5",
UFL,
240 with a cannon. They're hoping he works out.
Yeah, they're going to leave the majority of offensive starters in for him on first down. Elgersma is in the gun. Hands off to Oliveira. Gets to the line, tries to find some room in the right, nothing doing. Riders get there and get there quickly to limit the game to really not much. DeMarcus Fields in amongst the tacklers from his halfback spot.
Yeah, you're already seeing the defensive backs and the linebackers start to show a little bit more than they did in Calgary. You mentioned the starters staying in around Elgersma, and that's the best way to evaluate him, right? You want to see this kid be able to throw to, you want to see this kid be able to make reads. You only get that if he's protected, and that's why the #1 offensive line is still out here.
So Elgersma in the gun on second down. They call it a loss of about a yard as he's back to pass. Elgersma guns it near side. That's complete. No, in and out of the arms of the receiver. Looked like he had found his target in Christian Fredrickson. He just couldn't squeeze it as he came down to the turf. Falls incomplete. It is a kicking situation for the Bombers.
Yeah, Fredrickson, is wide open here, and it's a really good throw. Should have been caught. Punt situation for the Bombers.
Looks like it is once again going to be Sexton that's back to return for the Riders.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he gets a little bit more blocking this time around. That kickoff return, his blocking failed him a little bit, and he didn't really get a chance to get going, Dave.
Keegan Andrews to kick for the Bombers. This punt return for EB Power Sports in Assiniboine. Good snap. This one goes off the side of the kicker's leg just a little bit. Going to bounce in front of Sexton, who allows it to settle at the 31. Then he'll pick it up. No flags down. Now there is one for no yards, and bodies fly at the end of the play. Rider ball when we come back. 6:18 to go. We're tied at 7 here in Saskatoon. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Jack Cole.
Winnipeg number 34. 15-yard penalty. First down, Seattle.
Him to do.
Well, we're going to see him now. Last week, of course, 9 of 15 for 98 yards. He's in the shotgun now as the backfield empties. Cone looks near side. That's complete. Kean Schaefer-Baker has it before being racked up by Dietrich Nichols. Going to be a gain of maybe 3 on the play.
Comes up and pumps it a little bit. Gets hit late here from some interior pressure, but still gets the pass off. You get about, what is it, second down and a 7 or a long 6, Dave? What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say probably 7 at the 50-yard line, as it's a generous spot given to KSB. 5:42 to go in the opening quarter, tied at 7. Cone breaks huddle in the gun. Receiver in motion is Sam Emmel as pre-snap comes to the near side. That's where 3 receivers and targets will settle for Cone. He's back to pass, reads the blitz, throws it up. It's intercepted off the arms of Keyshawn Johnson into the arms of Evan Holm, who's bringing it back the other way to the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Winnipeg, pick 6. As the Bombers on the tip drill, able to go ahead and make the play, but we also have an injured player down on the field for the Riders.
Well, I'll tell you what, Winnipeg comes out here in a 0 blitz look, so Jack Cone knows he needs to throw it quick. The problem is it's a bad throw. He puts it far too out front of the intended receiver. I mean, it was a good effort to try to catch the ball, but it just evades his fingertips at the last minute. Ball's up in the air. Evan Holm, who's done a fantastic job since getting to Winnipeg, sees it up in the air. Tips and overthrows are everything that an offense dreads, and this one turns into a pick 6 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And Jack Cone is on the ground and now getting up after being clocked by the blitzer coming off his left edge.
55-yard interception return for a major by Evan Holm, who, if you go back to the Western Final back in 2024, was a Rough Rider killer. Makes another play there on the tip drill.
You just needed that ball to be accurate on that quick slant, right? Because if he catches it, there's a likelihood of a missed tackle. He's to the house, but because there isn't any more safety help based on the blitz look, but just a little bit too far in front of him.
Point after attempt to come off the foot of the Bombers. Brady Lidster splits the uprights, and it's 14-7 for Winnipeg with 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Winnipeg now leads 14-7. A timeout and more action coming from Griffith Stadium in a moment. This is Saskatchewan Rough Rider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Dave Thomas, Luke Mullender, Tegan Whitco, Wes Cates, who's been signing autographs along the sidelines, all back here at Griffith Stadium as we anticipate another kickoff return. We are going to go down to Tegan Whitco momentarily and see if we can get an update. Jack Cone was shaken up following the interception and made his way back to the sideline. I haven't spotted him just yet, but the injury tent isn't up.
Wes got a headset on like he's calling plays.
All right, let's go downstairs. I believe Tegan Whitco is standing by. Actually, we'll go right to Tegan following this kickoff. As boot to ball made by Lidster, end over ender. Going to be taken by Sexton back at his 13-yard line. He'll start straight up to the 25, 30, 35. Big hit and collision at the end of the play, but good starting field position for the Riders, who are going to send Tommy Stevens out to quarterback. Let's go downstairs and join Tegan Whitco. Tegan?
So we did see Cone get a little bit shaken up on the field here, right? And I know that Jeremy O'Day, he was a little bit disappointed in the way that the refs were looking at that play, but otherwise, Jack Cone is looking okay. I was actually just chatting with Wes Cates, who's standing beside me here right now, and he said the way that he ran off the field, he's totally fine. At least that's his opinion.
Thanks so much, Tegan. Of course, sideline reports for Steelcraft Doors, Regina, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert. First down for Tommy Stevens and the Riders. They'll load up the offensive line with a pair of tight ends. Handoff goes to Thomas Bertrand-Houdon, who gets to the 40, 41. Not a lot happening there, but he is able to get about half the distance to the goal.
Got a double tight end set, and one of the guys trying to make this team, Abdul Janae Jr., who had a couple nice catches in Calgary, comes across left to right, puts a block on the end man on the line of scrimmage. Caden Jenkins from Purdue gives Thomas Bertrand-Houdon a little bit of room. You got positive yards. You're looking at about 2nd and 7 or 6.
4:05 to go in the opening quarter. Winnipeg in front 14-7 thanks to the Evan Holm interception, pick 6. Stevens calls the offense to the line. Big smack on the offensive line. Stevens and hit as he throws. That's going to land incomplete as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, I talked about it, how they needed to find a way to get quarterback pressure. Last in the CFL in sacks last season, have found a recipe for success this afternoon.
Yeah, they got it there from Deshaun Dixon and Willie Jefferson off of that right side. After Thomas Bertrand-Houdon does everything he can on the left side to put a block on an oncoming linebacker that gave that chance a play. Or sorry, that play a chance. Not sure if I'm speaking English.
Hey, I got you.
Thank you.
Punt by the Riders. A short one, but takes a Riders bounce to the returner. That's Harrison, who gets across the 30, but then he's going to be fielded by a field of green Rough Rider covermen and he won't get it beyond that 30-yard line, and that's where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers offense and Taylor Elgersma will go back to work. Elgersma 0 for 1 as your stats look is brought to you by Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers. Elgersma 0 for 1. Cohn was 1 for 2. Stevens 0 for 1, and Trevor Harris 3 for 3 for 82 yards.
Malik Straker with the special teams tackle prior to that. And again, I tell you, you want to make the team, if you're on the fence, you got to look at special teams. That's where the coaches are going to look. So Straker trying to stay on this squad. Riders coming out in a 5-man front again.
Matthew Peterson into the game as running back as Elgersma fakes the handoff. Back to throw, fires it up, almost intercepted. Oh my, in and out of the arms of the Riders, Marcus Haynes.
Yeah, Marcus Haynes has a chance to jump a route here. So we got 5-man front as we line up. Haynes is the right end. He drops back about 12 yards looking for just anything that's coming in behind him. And he sees a receiver coming over the top and gets his hands up and almost ends up with an interception.
3:17 to go in the opening quarter. It's 2nd and 10. Winnipeg Bombers leading 14-7. Elgersma the gun, 5 receivers set. Elgersma back to pass, has time, throws it near side. That's incomplete. A couple of Riders had a shot at it, including Josh Woods, the newcomer. Couldn't get his fingertips on it as it was intended for Dorian Singer. And a 2-and-out for the Bombers offense, and Matthew Sexton back on to return for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
That's a good series for this young defensive front. You got almost an interception, and then you get a little bit of pressure running a couple defensive line stunts.
2:45 and counting. Keegan Andrews to punt it here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Of course, Jameson Sheehan back in Winnipeg, didn't make the trip to Saskatchewan. High spiraling kick this time for Sexton, who takes it in the sun, back at his 24. Starts to the right, cuts back to the left, makes a man miss. Still on his feet across the 35 before finally being hog-tied by a couple of Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and it'll be first down for the Riders at their 38-yard line.
Got Jack Cohn coming back out here to run the offense. Starting to see a little bit of rotation up front on the offensive line. Big Spencer Brown's going to come in here and man the right tackle spot that Jacob Brammer started out in. I believe you still got Jason Williams, that cat out of Youngstown State. Again, every single position played on the offensive line except center.
So 1st and 10 for the Riders. They start this drive at their own 39 with 2:15 to go in the opening quarter. 5 receivers set for Cohn, back to pass. Has time, throws it near side. That's incomplete. Lots of contact as he was trying to hook it up with Abdul Janneh Jr., but falls incomplete.
Yeah, just a little bit too far for the outstretched hands of Abdul Janneh. Had a little bit more time though, Dave. I think he could have gone through his progressions. Might have looked to his left. There might have been something for him on the sidelines, but again, you just got smacked on a 0 blitz, right? Your clock might be moving a little bit quicker than normal for a couple plays.
2nd and 10 for the Riders at their 39, right hash. 3 receivers come to this near side of the field. Bombers show blitz, and they bring it. Cohn back to pass. Now he's got to scramble, throws it up. He's hit again, and that one is complete to Nick Weeb on the Riders bench. Unfortunately, he plays defense and wasn't in the play. It's going to be a 2-and-out for the Rider offense.
I like this from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's not like they're being fancy. Everybody runs a 0 blitz. You just don't anticipate it coming into your first exhibition game, right? Because you're thinking that, hey, the coaches want to see individual ability at the moment, right? But good team defense here so far. Timing's been great on the blitz, but more importantly, the defensive backs have been locking their receivers down. So even if Cohn had a split second of timing, there wasn't anything open for him.
1:40 to go here in the opening quarter. Riders set to punt once again. This one goes off the side of Jesse Mirko's foot and straight into the Rider bench.
I could have kicked that.
That is not what the Riders want to see, as Mirko is battling with Oscar Chapman for the punting job, as Joe Couch is no longer with the football team. Mirko, of course, took over those duties in the latter part of the season last year for the Riders, but the veteran that time cannot keep it in the field of play, and the net on this punt is going to be about 15 yards, as it'll be spotted at center field, will it, for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in their next possession.
May as well have just gone for it.
Which is tough, right? And again, into the wind here at Griffith Stadium, and again, when it's coming from the south like it is straight in your face. And actually, the ball is going to be advanced to the Roughriders.
Yeah, so we should have gone for it, I think. Next time we'll just leave the offense in. Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for Winnipeg and their offense starting at the Saskatchewan 45-yard line. Jamarcus Hardrick imploring the fans to get loud. As Elgersma takes the snap, hands it off. First man through gets stopped right away. Nice job by the Riders to collapse inside. And coming up with the tackle for the green and white was Jalen Pate.
I believe that's number 22, Matthew Peterson out of Alberta.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, though, outside of Brady Oliveira, they've got some big backs on the camp roster right now. Michael Chris Ikes, 228. Stevie Rocker Jr., by the way, awesome name, 6'4", 220. They got some power backs there in Winnipeg, and that really fits, I think, their culture if you think about how they've looked over the last decade.
Peterson loves playing at this field. I'll elaborate in a moment. First, it's 2nd and 10 as he's given no gain on first down. Ball is on the Saskatchewan 45. Elgersma back to pass. Pressure comes. He gets away. Now he pulls it down. Going to go for a run, but he's going to be caught from behind. It's Pate again, I believe, or was it Weaver? One of the two able to get there after a gain of about 4. It'll be kicking situation here for Winnipeg.
Brought down the play by Justin Weaver.
Good job by Davin Vant from NC State. I mean, he comes around the edge. He's the guy that really forces Elgersma up into the pocket. Elgersma tries to run for it a little bit, but there's nothing there. That's a good stop by the Riders, and they'll be kicking a 50-yard field goal here are the Bombers.
50-yard attempt coming off the foot of Keegan Andrews. As he lines this one, pardon me, it's Brady Lidster to kick it. Lidster's kick. Gonna go sideways a little bit, but with the wind at his back, he's able to split it through, and Brady Lidster splits the uprights from 50 to extend the lead on the final play of the opening quarter to make it 17-7 on the Quality Tire scoreboard. Quality Tire with 9 locations across Saskatchewan and at qualitytire.ca. The second quarter is coming up next. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers want to have. That's the gap between the tackle and the end, and that's exactly where Mario Anderson goes for an easy first down. That's a great start. Darius Washington having a good camp too.
Biggest run of the day for either team, and it sets the Riders up 1st and 10 with a Bazandowski Insurance and Financial Services first down. Hand off again to Anderson. He'll go up the middle, gets across the 40 near the 45 for a gain of almost 6 as he crosses down to the Winnipeg 34-yard line.
This is a guy, Caden Jenkins from Purdue, number 54 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He's a guy that the Winnipeg fan base is really wondering about, and here he does a good job. He gets off the Morgan Runge block, attempted block, right? So he's trying to get sealed off. He gets in on the tackle, but an explosive player, good motor, but really good hands. And again, you know, I've seen him play in Purdue actually, just because of how much Big Ten football I have. But Caden Jenkins looking good.
About a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 for Saskatchewan. 3 receivers far side. Back to pass is Cohn once again. Feels the pressure, and he's going to get wrapped up and brought down.
Too much. Back
at the 44-yard line is Winnipeg able to turn up the pressure on the blitz, and Zach Cohn for the 2nd time today.
Yeah, and that's where we saw the challenge that the Riders have in terms of just youth, right? Darius Bell in there at center. Just, we had too much push up the middle versus Calgary, and it's the same thing here, and it turns a makeable field goal into a little bit more challenging one at 50 yards.
Now they're going to put the knee down at the 51, so it's a 51-yard attempt for Jonathan Kim, who was 2 for 2 a week ago.
This is my guy right here.
In Calgary, the Michigan State.
Look at that.
Kicker fires it through, and 51 yards out.
Yeah.
Makes it for the Roughriders. Of course, field goal attempts for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals, and it's 1 for 1 for the Riders to make the score now 17-10 in behalf of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
You know, I think that for Jonathan Kim, right now, never mind the fact that he went to the greatest university in the world, but I mean, if you're Kim, you kind of want the field goal pushed back a little bit longer, right? Because you're trying to earn a spot. So you look at it and you're like, oh, it's 35 yards, I'm gonna go out and hit this. Normally you're like, oh no, it's a farther field goal. I think that if you're a kicker in this situation for the Bombers or for the Riders, you kind of want those longer ones, right, Dave? Because you want to show that you've got that leg.
Absolutely, and Kim's been doing it at camp, and it was almost an exact replica of one of the sessions that the Riders ran in the kicking competition thus far here at training camp in Saskatoon. It's good, and it's 17-10 as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers go back to work with Taylor Elgersma in at quarterback. Back to pass, feels the pressure, steps up in the pocket, trying to get away. Here comes the heat, and the Riders get home. It's a Quill Plain Chevrolet sack. Quill Plain Chevrolet, Buick GMC and Wadena taking down high prices. Drive a little, save a lot at Quill Plain.
This is a good job, just continuing to stay active by Desmond Evans. We run a little bit of a game with the linebackers, so we're not allowing the Riders to pass rush with just the 4 defensive linemen. We're running linebackers into the pass rush as well. Anyways, it works out where Elgersma has to move up the middle, but Evans just does a great job of staying with it, gets a hand on him and brings him down late. 2nd and 11.
Elgersma in the gun, 5 receivers set for the Bombers, 3 to his near side. Back to passes Elgersma. Here comes the pressure. Flings it underneath. That ball is complete to the far side of the field for a first down and more. Into Rider territory down near the 53-yard line. Kevin Clarcius makes the catch, and the Bombers have a first down in Rider territory.
Well, this is a really good job taking advantage of a little bit too far. Like the Riders here, they're dropping back into the zone, but the linebackers in the secondary, I mean, we're playing about 1.5 yards behind the first down stick, so anything, especially a big receiver like Clarcius moving across the middle at 5 yards has got a good chance for a first down there, and they did it.
5 receivers set for the Bombers, 4 targets near side. Hand the ball off, that goes to Peterson, and Matthew Peterson going to continue to push the pile down around the Saskatchewan 48-yard line, we'll call it, for a gain of about 3.
Well, and Peterson, I mean, he's got a good shot to make this team just based on the ratio that the Blue Bombers go with, right? I'm not saying that he's only going to make the team because of the ratio, but he's a good, tough, and he's a big running back, right? Just like the Winnipeg Blue Bombers like it. It's 2nd and what, 7?
Yeah, 66 carries for 329 yards last season for Matthew Peterson. As a U Sports athlete, he ran a 108-yard touchdown run here at Griffith Stadium. As on this second down play, swung out near side to the Riders 40, and that's going to be balls out. But the Bombers are going to fall on it as the fumbled football could not find Rough Rider arms, as making the catch initially was Gavin Cobb.
Yeah, Gavin Cobb makes the catch, but it's fantastic effort from Dorian Singer, one of their receivers. Because of the way this works out, they're going to need a couple blocks, and Dorian Singer puts a block on Tavon Campbell, one of the best defensive backs out there, to free up Cobb when he catches the ball coming around to the sideline. So that's really well executed. And again, there's only one ball, so the receivers in the CFL got to prove they can block.
And Cobb, again, another player that's had success on this field, is the University of Manitoba Bison alumnus. Elgersma on first down, fakes the handoff, now slings it near side. Good catch, big hand at the end of the play. Woo! As coming across on Clarcius was a low blow, and Clarcius is hobbled as he gets helped up off the field. But boy, quick reaction time there by the Rider defense.
Well, that's what Marcus Sales does, man. I'll tell you what, he'll go down as one of J.O.'s best free agent signings. He has been an absolute gem since putting on the green and white. One of the physical leaders of this defense, and he shows it here. Puts his helmet and shoulder pad right on Clarcius' sideboard, where the thigh board, needs to be. Wide receivers don't wear those these days, probably why he's hobbling off. But Marcus Sales has been tremendous physically.
Well, he'll go down on the turf for a WorkSafe Saskatchewan injury timeout. Workplace health and safety is everyone's responsibility. A strong Saskatchewan is a safe Saskatchewan. So, going to get some attention to Kevin Clarcius, who is important to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, as all players are. But we're going to take a timeout, step away. We're in the midst of the second quarter, and with the sun at this angle right now, we can't tell you how long is left. But I know we're midway through the second quarter, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are trailing 17-7. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Following the injury to Clarcius as he went off under his own steam, 5 receivers set for Taylor Elgersma. Calls them to the line pre-snap. He's back to pass. Feels some pressure from the far side. Dumps it underneath for the screen. It's up and it's on the turf. Rider's going to jump on it, but they'll call incomplete. Nice job of reading the play and coming up to make it for the Roughriders, Aubrey Miller Jr.
This is a good job by everybody here. Jalen Pate, gets a great jump from his right end position. Adds a little bit of pressure. Normally on the screen, the quarterback knows there's going to be some pressure. I just don't think he anticipated it was going to come that early based on the get-off of Jalen Pate. And then you're right, Aubrey Miller reads it really well. And the Riders hold the Bombers to a field goal attempt at about 44 yards.
So Brady Lidster on to try his second of the game. He was good from 50 with the wind at his back. This time it's in his face. Clean snap, end over end kick. Goes wide to the right. Going to be brought out by the Riders. up across the goal line, but not much more. And the Riders are going to have a deep field as the returner got out around the 1, but no more. So long field ahead for the Riders. We'll take a break and come back with more from Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Having a challenge communicating because we might be down more.
17-10, and thank you very much, Tegan Hurst. Sideline reports for Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers. Riders start back, and the shadows of their goalpost is on first down. They'll hand the ball off. A run just to the left side of the center. Not going to be much room through that A gap for the Rider running back. It'll be a gain of maybe 4.
Stiller, no, he got a little bit more than that day.
Oh, did he ever?
Like about 7 he got. That was a fantastic run. It was a tough run, right? You got your double tight end set in there for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Run straight through the guard. I mean, through the left guard there, and just pumps his leg out. Great run.
So second down and short for the Roughriders after that. Quali Conley carry as Jack Cohn is in the shotgun. Far side pass. Looks like it's going to be caught complete, and it should be good for a Cooperators Bazendowski and Insurance Financial Services first down, and indeed it will be.
CFC Mariner just settles down right over top of the numbers. Cohn could have put it up a little bit more, but COC does a great job just getting down low, digging it out, advancing the sticks. You didn't want a punt situation or a safety situation there, so it's good that the Riders managed 2 successful plays to get them off of their goal line.
7:26 and counting to go. I don't know who sent me the text, but they were way wrong on the clock. 7:26 to go here in the second quarter. Winnipeg is leading Saskatchewan by 7 points. The Riders have it first down. Hand off again to Conley out of the backfield. He'll crash across the 19 near the 20-yard line on first down for a good gain of almost 6 yards.
Well, Conley's not a name that we've mentioned a ton just because you got A.J. Ouellette, the way Mario Anderson's been one in the football, but since getting to camp, I mean, he's made an impression. Making an impression now. That's some tough running that you're getting out of him. It's a good job by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I mean, you're just delaying. You got number 35 back there. Yeah, because they've got 2 guys wearing the same 35. You got Kamari Mounier-Bay. Made the play.
Second down for the Riders from their own 17. Cohn to pass, far side, complete. Looked like there was running room initially. Nice job by the Bombers, though, to converge and make the tackle at the end of the play up to the 28-yard line. But it will be a first down as Sexton able to haul it in for the Riders on that far side.
Yeah, and this is Cohn's best throw of the day because it has to be perfect. Jake Kelly is all over Matthew Sexton in coverage. It's actually good coverage from the defensive back, but Cohn just puts it right where Sexton needs it to be in order to make the catch and get a couple more yards after catch, and it's another first down for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yards after catch for Pump Jacks Cathedral. First down for the green and white. Jack Cohn in the gun. 4 receivers to the near side. He'll hand it off. Conley again has got it. Tries to bounce and does outside. Has room to run across the 30 to the 35 near the 37-yard line. Another quality run on first down for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Young back in the fact that he's young in camp as he wasn't here at the start of it, but boy, he's making an impact near the end.
And it's clear he's been watching his film because this is a very patient run from Conley. He don't manage to get any of the Bombers off the line of scrimmage initially, so he's got to kind of wait up until a gap identifies it. He finally finds it and takes it for 8 yards. That was a really patient, good run.
5:20 to go in this second quarter. 2nd and 2 Saskatchewan. High snap. Conley, though, will take the handoff from Cohn, who did a nice job of corralling it, and he will have another first down as the Riders are moving to change a drive that started all the way back on their 1.
But more importantly, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers come out and show blitz, right? They're going to meet them at the line of scrimmage, and Conley knows there's no patience or no dancing when you see a run blitz coming directly at you, so he just gets the ball and scampers downhill as quick as he can. They convert it. You're starting to see some hands on hips for the Blue Bombers on their defensive line.
4:44 to go in the half. 1st and 10 for the Riders from their 41. Cohn fakes the handoff this time. Lots of time. Airs it out, looking deep, and that's going to go incomplete. Hand-to-hand combat down the far sideline, but that ball may have just sailed a little bit in the wind beyond the outstretched arms of COC Mariner.
Wow, call a spade here too. They get to look what they want. They got a one-on-one, but Major Williams, just fantastic coverage for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He was in in his breadbasket the entire time. There was nothing out there. Again, you're starting to see a little bit of that depth battle back there for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
2nd and 10 for the Riders following the incomplete pass. 5 receiver look for the Riders, 3 far side. Winnipeg is 4 down linemen on the 2nd and long play. They fake the blitz and now they drop back. Flags fly. Cohen flies it up near side looking for Mariner. He had a step on his man, but he couldn't get off him, and we'll have to wait and see what the flags are at the end of the play.
Fortunately, the Riders are offside here, so maybe Mariner knew that, and that's the reason he looked like he blew a tire at first.
Well, the punt team is coming out.
Saskatchewan, penalties decline.
So Oscar Chapman on to kick. He's got the wind at his back here for the Riders.
Well, you know, that's bound to happen in training camp. You get those offsides. I mean, it's not as if they don't happen with the receivers in the regular season, but just when the guys, Mariner's been here for a while, but when other guys are getting used to that waggle, timing's difficult.
17-10 Winnipeg leads. We're in the 2nd quarter at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. Final preseason game for the Riders. First venture in the preseason for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Back to kick Oscar Chapman for the Riders. He stands back and takes the snap at his 26. High, booming punt that'll be taken by Dorian Singer on a bounce as he lets it go to the 15, and now it trickles into the end zone.
That's a fantastic punt.
Singer gonna walk up to it as now Chapman comes in, and it looks like Singer's gonna dance around. Now he's gonna be tackled in the end zone as he wasn't about to give up the Rouge quickly, and the Riders will get a point, which are not going to come as handily this season, if you will. It's now 17-11, Winnipeg leading here at Griffith Stadium. Back with more in a moment. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Awesome.
That is something. Oscar Chapman's 73-yard punt gives the Saskatchewan Roughriders a Rouge. They still trail Winnipeg 17-11. Here in the 2nd quarter, the Blue Bombers will get the ball at their 40 following the 1 point. As the handoff on 1st down, gonna roll the pile up near the 45-yard line, so what looked like it was gonna be stopped in its tracks actually gets some traction, and a gain of 5 for Winnipeg on 1st down.
Yeah, initially the Riders did a great job just filling gaps.
And we are gonna take the 3-minute warning as it's given to the benches here at Griffith Stadium. However, don't have an indication that we're going to take a break. Now we do. 17-11 Winnipeg leads here in the preseason at Griffith Stadium in Saskatoon. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Zone and put their helmets on their heads as we move on here as the first half winds down. As Elgersma to pass far side, that is complete. Up near the 1st down marker is going up to get it was Joey Corcoran, and he should have it, but we do have whistles at the end of the play and flags down. Looks like it's going against Winnipeg, Luke.
Yeah. Unnecessary roughness, it looks like, against the Bombers. The Bombers don't agree at all.
How costly of a penalty is that in the preseason when you can be singled out on a dime as Malcolm Bell checks into the game for the Roughriders? Of course, their 1st-round draft pick that joined the team late after a workout with the Pittsburgh Steelers. That following his time at Michigan State.
Yeah, the #1 pick for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He's looked good in camp, right? He seems to get it in terms of just what's been required of him when it comes to the playbook to this point.
Tim Croker is today's referee from here in the Bridge City. Let's go down for the call.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Winnipeg number 61.
Yeah, that's Gabe Wallace.
So the penalty occurred prior to, if this makes sense, prior to the play happening. That's why you spot the foul from the beginning of the line of scrimmage, then you counter back, and it moves the ball all the way back to the 30-yard line of the Blue Bombers.
I'll tell you, Dave, no one's going to argue with you on the rules right now because you've been bang on, man. You were calling it right down the line in Calgary. You were correcting the referees.
I don't know about that, but hey.
Yeah, I'm trying to give you some credit. Take the compliment, Dave, because you're going to get the criticism.
There you have it. 2:56 to go in the opening half. Bombers now are 2nd and halfway to Davidson. Back to pass is Elgersma. Riders can't get pressure. Now he'll dump it underneath. That's a completed pass far side. 35-yard line for a gain of about 5 on the play. Well short of the first down. Here comes the Winnipeg punting unit.
Yeah, the Riders just sat back in the zone at the first down sticks. They were fine with Elgersma making any underneath throw. That's exactly what he did. Really no chance for a first down after that. Winnipeg was resigned to punt. You figured out the time left on the clock here? What we got? 2:40 something?
Yes, 2:46 to go here in the second quarter. Winnipeg leading 17-11. Clean snap that goes back to Keegan Andrews. He'll punt it. Sexton back to return for the Riders. He'll take it at his 32-yard line off his shoe tips as he'll then get across the 35 near the 38. The punt return for EV Power Sports in Assiniboia, Southern Saskatchewan's destination for Arctic Cat adventures and off-road excitement, as the Riders will get the football back and a chance to work the 3-minute drill, if you will, as Jack Cohn jogs back up.
Well, that's the best part about this, right? I mean, you always look to rep the situations that you're going to see in the regular season. Jack Cohn, you're out here fighting for a second-string quarterback spot. Nothing better than to go and execute a drive in your 3-minute drill.
So Cohn will come out. He'll have 4 receivers, now 5 at his disposal. 3 come to the near side. Winnipeg shows 4 down linemen on first down for the Riders from their 38-yard line. Fake a handoff, now throw it out far side. That's Sexton complete up to the 45, 46 yard. Then he's hammered from behind after a gain of about 8.
Well, listen, this is for the Bombers. This is Caden Jenkins again. He came from about 20 yards. He started out as a pass rusher, then turned on a dime and went and made this tackle on Sexton. That's the effort that the Bombers are looking for when it comes to that spot opposite Willie Jefferson. That was a great play.
Cohn in the gun, first down and short, going to hand it off. Conley's got it. Up across the 47, 48. He needs to get about the 49-yard line. I think he's going to be just shy.
Yeah. Well,
maybe Tommy Stevens' time.
The problem here, Dave, is that the Riders are just having such a difficult time moving the Bombers off the line of scrimmage. You got Jonah Pace out of Iowa out there. He's doing a great job. Number 90, Deshaun Dixon's played some good football here. They're just not coming off the line of scrimmage. I mean, it's what you want to see if you're a Winnipeg Blue Bomber coach. It's not what you want to see if you're the Saskatchewan Roughriders, right? You got to move bodies when it comes to those short yardage plays. Speaking of moving bodies, big Tommy Stevens.
Third down gamble for Northern Fireplace Barbecue and Smokers. Stevens goes to the right side, lots of room, and he'll have the first down easily as he'll get across the 50. He only needed the 49. The Bombers are saying they stopped him, but maybe after he gained the yards. So Jack Cohn will jog back out along with Sexton to go back to work on offense as Tommy Stevens gets the first down.
You didn't lose a ton of time. You can still go. Might want to take a little bit of sense of urgency here if you complete this ball. Maybe go into the no huddle. I don't know.
2:02 to go before halftime. Again, Winnipeg leading 17-11. Brady Oliveira and an interception returned by Evan Holm, the 2 majors for the Bombers. The Riders' touchdown was scored by A.J. Olette. Cohn, the pass, near side, complete underneath for Sexton again, across midfield into the Winnipeg side of center, and down to the 49 for another Cooperators, Bazandowski Insurance and Financial Services first down.
Well, Cohn's eyes are working well now. He sees Sexton to his left, sitting down at about 6 yards, and it's a great job catching the football by Sexton and then just putting the shoulder pads down and churning the legs for anything more, and he gets the first down because of it.
Clock running for the Riders now at the Winnipeg 49. 5-man pressure thrown and deflected at the line. Incomplete. Cohn tried to just find his man quickly settling in underneath and Del Duncan Busby, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, this was initially supposed to be a 6-man pressure. One of the linebackers added late. He wasn't going to have any sort of impact on the play, but I believe it was Dixon who got his arms up and knocked that football down. So Cohn's going to be in a 2nd and 7+ situation here. It's going to be interesting to see how the Winnipeg Blue Bombers treat that. They threw a lot of pressure in the first quarter. They've trailed off that 0 blitz look since.
2nd and 10 for the Riders at the Winnipeg 49. 2:36 to go.
Never mind.
Here comes the pressure from the Bombers. Cohn fires over the middle, incomplete. Sexton couldn't haul it in. It was in tight coverage to his dismay, and Jack Cohn claps the hands as he comes and picks himself up off the turf.
He knows he missed one right there. I think that was a first down. If he had put it a little bit more accurately, that Sexton might have been able to catch it. But again, it's a good job just getting the ball out. Just as I said, they haven't shown the 0 blitz look in a while. They go ahead and get to it at the start of the snap, and Cohn's got to get rid of it before anything.
And part of me to Matthew Sexton. That was actually Deshaun Mims, the intended receiver. Now look at this. We're going to get a 57-yard field goal attempt from Alex Hale. On the left hash, wind at his back.
Get there.
Monster kick,
Good
end
kick.
over end, but it goes wide to the right. Going to be returned out of the end zone by the Bombers up to the 5. Taking a stutter step up to the 10 and then running into a wall of Riders is the return man for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers named Dorian Singer. And Winnipeg will get the football back and the Riders don't get points.
He had the distance. It was a good kick distance-wise, just a little bit to his right. Here's the thing, though. I mean, all game so far for this entire first half, one of the things we've seen is violent special teams play. All of these guys understand if they're on the fence, if the coaches have to make a decision, they're going to go to the special teams film. What they're going to see on the special teams film is effort from guys like Aubrey Miller, effort from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who've been doing great in their cover teams. Got to make it harder for these coaches to make decisions, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Those decisions will be made a week from today, 81 seconds before halftime. Elgersma hands the ball off to the first man through, gets across the 11, 12, maybe 13-yard line for a gain of a couple as the clock will continue to run here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers as they lead 17-11.
That was an interesting decision by the Bombers to call that. I mean, maybe Elgersma wanted to keep it initially. He does give the fake run look after the RPO gets handed off, but now you're in a 2nd and 8 situation. There's still time left on the clock. If you're the Saskatchewan Roughriders, you're getting your offense together and saying, hey, if we manage to force a punt here, let's get out there. We're going to have good field position.
2-yard gain for Matthew Peterson. As mentioned, Luke, it's 2nd down and 8. Elgersma has the blitz come right up the middle. Can he get away? He takes a step to his right. Now he's going to air it out near side. Has a receiver, but it's going to fall incomplete right to the Riders bench. Valiant effort to try to haul it in by the receiver coming to this near side in TJ Davis, but can't squeeze it. And it is a 2-0.
Yeah, and it's out of the field of play, so the clock is now stopped. And with a good return, hopefully, here from Sexton, the Riders are going to be in position to kick either a long field goal or even a score. So great 2-and-out here from the Saskatchewan Roughrider defense on a questionable first down call from Winnipeg.
Punt going into the wind for the Blue Bombers here late in this 2nd quarter. Left-footed kick is a spiral. Going to be taken by Sexton. It is the 54 of Winnipeg. He'll get across the 50, upended at about the 47-yard line. And here comes the Riders offense and Jack Cohn with exactly 43.7 seconds to go before halftime.
It's a great effort by Michael Ayers from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, number 49. Sexton thinks he has some room up the middle. Ayers just managed to evade all blockers and gets in on a quick tackle. So you got, what did you say was on the clock here?
43.7.
43 seconds, right? Depending on how this first play goes, that's what's going to dictate, right? Whether you're in field goal mode or you actually take another shot at the end zone. If I'm Jack Cohn as a quarterback, I want to be able to let this fly a little bit. Got to have good protection up front. If this is a run, though, I think the Riders are just resigned to maybe kick a field goal.
So 1st and 10 for Cohn. Ball right between the hash marks at the Winnipeg 47-yard line. Bombers show blitz. They bring it. Cohn has time, though, as the Riders pick it up, and then he's complete inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line. Jalen Johnson with his first reception of the afternoon.
Cohn's starting to settle down a little bit now, Dave. You see a 5-man blitz initially, a late 6-man ad. Cohn just sort of sits back there patiently and finds an open target. Now we're at the 35. That's really good patience and a good throw.
First down for the Riders. Clock moving as play is whistled in. Cohn gets the ball off early. Blitz comes. He fires near side. That ball is complete to Deshaun Mims. Nice veteran move to run to the sideline. Steps out of bounds at the 26-yard line of Winnipeg after a gain of about 7.
You're right. You pointed it out. Deshaun Mims, really smart play to just get out of bounds, stop that clock. Jack Cohn's starting to see this blitz coming now a little bit better, right? Like I said, he's starting to settle down. Here, another patient. He's not in a rush. Gets it to his hot route. Mims, great job. It's been such a struggle for Mims to just gain any consistency here for the Riders, right? You've got your injury troubles and then the production from the other receivers, but that was a heads-up play.
So 1st down and 10 for the Riders. 30 seconds-ish to go here before halftime. Cohn gets hit right away. He didn't even take a step back as the blitz and pressure came from the far side, and the oohs and the ahs from Rider Nation as Cone takes another big lick.
Well, unfortunately, that was a really well-timed blitz, but more importantly, the defensive backs did a great job understanding the blitz there. You got number 22, Warren Burrell, out there on the right side, on a field side cornerback, and he knows that if the blitz is called in this situation, he can play down on his man. He can crowd his man on the line of scrimmage because the quarterback's not going to have an opportunity to throw it deep. He's got to get rid of it quick. It's a great understanding of that blitz and the way it works in order for Burrell to just defend the hot throw. Smart football.
Reliance Heath water heater rental field goal attempt of the day for the Riders. They're 1 for 2. This time it's Jonathan Kim. He puts it up and puts it through from 40 yards out. So Kim is 2 for 2 on the day, good from 51 and 40, and he's battling for a spot, and he's making a statement.
Well, Kim almost hit the Huskies clubhouse.
I know he's been
almost hit the Cameco guys.
He has been booting 86-yard kicks.
Hey, what school did he go to again, Dave?
Michigan State, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure. Wanted to make sure. But Reliance Heath water heater rentals in that field goal attempt is good. Cuts the lead to 17-14 for Winnipeg. Here late in the second quarter of play, to be exact, 11.1 seconds to go before halftime. Coming up at halftime, of course, it is the YAC Auctions halftime report, and something new this season, Rider Nation, is coming moments from now. The exclusive access you want, well, you got it.
I want to ask who West Cade's stylist is. That's what I want to ask at the halftime report. Because he's out here rocking matching shoes with the shirt. You looking clean, my man. If you can hear me, Wes, you look clean, brother.
First down and 10 is Mr. Blackwell reports, a.k.a. Luke Mullender. 5 receivers for Eldersma. Riders going to bring the bricks. Fake the handoff. Indeed, they do hand off to the Bombers. Nothing doing as the Riders able to get there and stop the play in its tracks. And there might be time for one more before halftime. It appears there is.
Great job. David Gabenga is getting some reps out there. Keep an eye on him, Rider Nation. He's got an outside chance to make this team. The other guy who's got an outside chance to make this team I really like is Seyo Oladipo. We haven't seen him make any tackles today, but I'm telling you, he's a big, long, athletic defender that can play a number of spots. He's got a shot too.
Second down and 10 for the Bombers at their own 40-yard line. Left hash. Riders again load up the line. Handoff. First one through. Big hit. Oh, my. End the half with some physicality, don't you? Wow. Nothing doing on the run and nothing doing as far as a first down. That's the way the opening half will end.
Benny Sapp the third says, hey, man, nobody's been talking about me. Well, I'm going to make you talk about me during camp.
We're going to talk about him during halftime as your report is coming up on the Quality Tire scoreboard with 9 locations across Saskatchewan, qualitytire.ca. It's currently 17-14, Winnipeg leading at the half. Your halftime report with Tegan Whitco and Wes Cates is coming up from the sidelines next. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Report. We are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back on the other side and dissect this first half of this football game. It's Tegan Whitco, Wes Cates will be back on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast
celebration, it's time to put your hands together for the 620 CFL Rider Pep Band.
We have a new to us Fuller song that we would love for you to join in singing. Let's hear you sing it with us. Hey baby.
Are you the finish line or him building?
Well, and you know, the word that was used with him a lot up in the broadcast booth there was patience. There was a lot of patience coming from Tom. How about Marcus Sims?
Although these guys are also pretty good. So.
Flying around like usual. Great coverage in the back end. I don't think that's going to be a worry. Definitely sales is looking good in mid-season for us.
Absolutely. And you know, as you mentioned, there was a couple of nicks and scrapes and bruises. Washington was one of them. He was actually being helped off the field at the end of the first half of this football game. It looks like he could have rolled his ankle or something. I'm no doctor, but
he got rolled up on another one of those Jack Cone sacks. The pile fell on his ankle, so hopefully nothing too bad, but it did look like he got rolled up on pretty good, so I'm thinking he might be done for a bit.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. Preseason action continues here in just a little bit as the festivities continue here at Griffith Stadium. This is the YAC Auctions halftime report, brought to you by YAC Auctions. Your legacy deserves a crowd just like a home game. Sell it right with YAC Auctions. Play-by-play action is coming up for the second half of this football game on the other side of the break. It's the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Events, go to riderpetband.com. All right, it is time to see who the fastest mascot in Saskatchewan is. They are starting on the 30. They are going to run to the other 30. There's a medal. There's a trophy. Let's meet the contestants, starting with Morty, the Moose from the Moose Jaw Warriors. Up next, Howler from the University of Saskatchewan.
be on this side so you can see the cross finish line?
From your Saskatchewan.
Oh,
Okay, I will count it down and you will go on go, all right? Are you guys ready? Okay, fans, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! Sneaky Pete, both feet, so no.
The running of the token, which is the tradition of homecoming at Huskies, but sometimes you don't mess with tradition.
I talked to Liam. I said the Tucker's going to be out. He was hoping, but maybe yes.
So Lidster approaches the ball, end over end kick, but that is going to be stopped before it goes as there were zeros on the clock, and the official threw his flag 32 yards from the end zone line to the 32. So going to back it up for Brady Lidster. Yeah.
We're talking about an arm there.
Now
those flags, they don't have a lot of weight on them.
No, and look at this. The ball is now spotted back at the 20-yard line. So not only are the Blue Bombers kicking into the wind, they're going to do it from their own 20.
Well, the fullback's got to adjust a little bit too. They haven't moved up yet.
No, you're right.
There's too much space between the fullbacks and the
No,
initial
let's
line
go.
of blocking.
Off the white. Off the
They
white.
still haven't moved up.
So Lidster going to step into it again. This end over end kick going to be fielded by the up back and bounces into his arms again as he stepped in front of Daniel Weed. Now running to the outside to the 40. Not much room. Is trying to get around the corner was Jalen Johnson. A little miscommunication to appear between Johnson and Daniel Weed. And
Jalen Johnson just shouldn't have done that, period. Daniel Weed got to be able to Roughriders first and 10. Jalen Johnson's the up back in that situation. That was right at Weed.
So Jack Cohn is going to come out to start the third quarter. Again, he replaced Trevor Harris after the opening series. He missed a play after he took a huge collision in the Riders' backfield. And Saskatchewan going to start the ball here in the third quarter, trailing by 3 at their own 42-yard line after a booming kickoff by the Blue Bombers, Brady Lidster. So Cohn and his offense will go to work. 4 receivers come to the near side of the formation. Now moving into the backfield up to the line is Morgan Runge. Handoff goes to Mario Anderson Jr. He'll get across the line of scrimmage to the 45 and not much more. Going to be a gain of a couple second and long coming for the Riders as Anderson gets the carry on first down.
Defense man's doing a little bit better job on the edges here for their first exhibition game than normally you see. There hasn't been well coached clearly. Again, Deshaun Dixon and Caden Johnson have been the guys that primarily have been getting the opportunity. Interior hasn't been getting knocked off the ball very much.
So second down and perhaps, yeah, that very nice spot up to the 45-yard line. So a long 6 here for Saskatchewan. 3 receivers near side. Cohn back to pass. His time goes far side flat. That's complete. Right at the Blue Bomber bench. Nice catch there by Saskatchewan. And the first Bazendelski Agency's first down of the second half goes for Saskatchewan. A reception by Abel Jenne Jr.
Yeah, now that Jack Cohn has settled down a little bit, he's seeing things a little bit. There, he actually used his eyes to draw the attention to his crossing route and move back over to the route that was going towards the sideline up top. So Jack Cohn's now settling a little bit. And this is kind of what we saw in Calgary, right? Shaky start and then settling down at first. So let's see how much time he actually has with his opportunity, because you know at some point we're going to see number 10.
First and 10 for the Roughriders, now inside Winnipeg territory at the Bombers' 49-yard line. just underway here in the third quarter of play. Saskatchewan trails by 3. Cone pitches it far side for Anderson Jr. He'll make a stutter step, get across the line of scrimmage up to the 45 of Winnipeg, and inside the 45, near the 44 for me, almost 4, maybe 5.
Got big Jason Williams in his guard spot, moving to the outside. Right, so essentially it changes where the furthest outside defender is because of the way the gaps come over. Anyway, long story short, Winnipeg played it well. Good job scraping by the linebackers. We still got 5 yards out of it, though.
Second and medium now for Saskatchewan. Their opening drive of this second half, trailing by 3 at 17-14 for Winnipeg. Here at Griffith Stadium. Ball is on the right-hand hash for Cone. Got time. Looks far side. Airs it out. Ball complete. Nice catch inside the 30 near the 28-yard line of Winnipeg. As again, a receiver going up in Janae Jr. and hauls it in for another first down.
Yeah, Janae Jr. on the right side between the numbers and the hash. He's got some good pass protection. And Cone, once again, because of that pass protection, is able to sit in there. He goes through his progressions and finds Janae Jr. who he really likes. He throws the ball to him a lot, right? So it's good that you're developing some rapport with some of your receivers, but they move the sticks, which is obviously the most positive outcome.
So first down, Saskatchewan. Just outside the Ashdown Furniture Appliances and Interiors red zone. They're at the 27-yard line of Winnipeg. Extra bodies on the line. Handoff, ball looked like it squirted out for a brief second, but just some poor footwork in the backfield. No gain on the play.
Yeah, Mario Anderson gets shot by a sniper standing on top of the Huskies clubhouse and goes for 1 yard.
So second down and 9, Saskatchewan. Ball at the 27 of Winnipeg. Near that right-hand hash mark. Jack Cone into the game. Again, he came on in relief of Trevor Harris after Harris guided the Riders to a touchdown in their opening drive. 5 receivers set for Cone on second and long. 4 down linemen for the Bombers. They'll drop back into coverage. Cone looks, fires, looking, almost caught. Daniel Weeb, the intended target, and a flag comes down late.
Yeah, we're going to get a pass interference here on the Bombers. Daniel Weeb made some really good effort. Good job by Cone going through his progressions. He takes a risky throw. I mean, he really wants to fit this into Weeb. There's about 3 Bombers in and around number 87, but one of them gets in a little bit too early on Daniel Weeb, and Jack Cone gets his offense down to the 12-yard line.
So the Ashdown Furniture Appliances and Interiors red zone, all your indoor and outdoor home furnishing needs and a full line of appliances. Ashdown's Furniture and Interiors in Moose Jaw. Riders are set up at the 13-yard line, right between the uprights for Jack Cone as he looks at it. 3 receivers far side, 4 down linemen for Winnipeg. Here comes a blitz from the outside. Cone fires, goal line, lots of contact, and it falls incomplete. Tried to thread the needle to Siyosi Mariner, but again, lots of traffic there. It'll be second down.
Jeez. Another just tight throw in traffic by Cone. I like the aggressiveness. There wasn't really much else, right? And I think in this instance, Cone doesn't want to try to use his legs to get it. Just rather trust his arm. It was a well-placed ball. Just a couple more Bombers than Saskatchewan Roughriders in there vying for it.
So Cone has 3 targets, go to the far side of the formation on second and long from the 13-yard line. Here comes the blitz from the Bombers. Cone back to pass, has a man, has a touchdown! Riders! Johnny Johnson III hauls it in, and Jack Cone finds the end zone.
Well, more importantly, Jack Cone finds the end zone in the face of another Winnipeg blitz. You've got man-on-man coverage with no safety because of the way Winnipeg is attacking them. Cone does not rush himself, just allows number 83, Johnny Johnson Jr. to work his way into the back of the end zone, right between the hash and the numbers, and that was a well-executed drive led by Cone. And the Riders get a much-needed score early on in this third quarter.
Alex Hale on to attempt the point after. Clean snap, good hold, and it sails through the uprights. Riders take their first lead of the ball game. It's 21-17 Saskatchewan here in the third quarter. We'll take a break and come back with more in a moment. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
To them, them for giving time to their quarterback, and he made the right selections in terms of who he wanted to go to.
Jonathan Kim kicks it off. Big, deep kick, but taken back the other way by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Dorian Singer. He'll be wrapped up just beyond the 35-yard line. Nice return as that kickoff sailed down to the 5-yard line off the foot of Kim. And here comes Winnipeg and their offense, led by Taylor Elgersma yet again.
Yeah, I think they like those guys. I think they like Dorian Singer. They're giving him a chance. Pretty explosive player. I mean, you saw it right there, right? He got from gear 1 to gear 5 pretty quickly, and that's what you want out of your team.
So Taylor Elgersma came on after the first series that was operated by Zach Caleros. He's 4 of 9 for 34 yards and in the gun here. Back to pass, has time, guns it over the middle. That ball complete to midfield and more. Down to the Riders' 51-yard line. Nice pitch and catch there to Singer from Elgersma. And it's a big first down into Saskatchewan territory for Winnipeg.
Some more with Singer. He's coming on a deep dig route at about 20 yards, but Elgersma all sorts of time, not a lot of pressure. Get through his progressions now and find him the first down.
Well, Jackson saw him back in on the tackle for the Riders. He's practiced at safety most of training camp, but playing halfback now. Elgersma on the gun, 5 receiver set. He's back to pass again. He's got time. Going to sprint through the middle. Tries, going to take a big shot as he gets near the 40-yard line. Now, this is going to be very, very close to the first down, but Elgersma did not slide. I think Mike O'Shea would maybe
Mike O'Shea's like
so.
Mike O'Shea appreciates the physicality, but he'd rather have it out of one of his running backs, not out of his young quarterback. Sei Oladipo on the tackle there absorbs whatever Elgersma's trying to dish out, but it's a good attentive run. 2nd and about 2, and he stays in.
Yeah, 8 yards on the gain. Elgersma now in under center. Everybody on the line. Elgersma going to go straight ahead, and he'll be close if he doesn't have it. I'm pretty sure he will. We'll await the spot from Tim Croker, today's referee, as the officials are marking it, and then getting moved around as Malcolm Bell runs into the official that was marking the spot. And it indeed is going to be a first down for Winnipeg.
Got Davin Dunn, Sundiata Anderson checking in for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
7:39.
Marcus Haynes out there. Sorry.
Come on, Luke. 7:39 to go here in the third quarter. Saskatchewan in front, 21-17. The Bombers have a fresh set of downs at the Saskatchewan 41-yard line. Extra bodies on the line. Fake the handoff. Elgersma going to keep it. Runs, drops the ball, and then he's able to scoop it up as it bounced right back into his arms as if he was dribbling it playing basketball. He lands on it up at the 36-yard line. It's still going to be a gain of about 5.
Yeah, you've got 2 runs there by Elgersma that end potentially really bad. The Bombers get lucky, 2nd and 6.
So 2nd and a long 5, we'll call it here for Winnipeg. Now at the Riders' 36.5-yard line. Right-hand hash as the Riders have 4 down linemen. Winnipeg with 5 receivers in this set. Peterson standing to the left of Elgersma. Elgersma back to pass. He guns it, has a man. No, he doesn't. It's picked off by the Riders. They've got it, and they'll turn it around the other way. Saskatchewan able to step in front of the passes. It looked like he had a man. I think Elgersma perhaps overthrew him just a smidge, but the Riders come up with a football and a big interception as the Riders have it, and it's James Burgess Jr.
Yeah, James Burgess Jr. is playing the boundary cornerback and plays it well here. He's covering his man, but as Elgersma goes to throw, I'm not sure who he was throwing to. It was either really underthrown or it was just a bad throw all the way. Well, it wasn't either way, it was intercepted, but Burgess Jr. does a good job coming off his man, intercepting the football for the first turnover of the secondary for those young guys back there.
There you go. That Olympic RTM's turnover means that the Riders will have the ball when we come back. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Shager coming into the ball game at quarterback to an ovation here at Griffith Stadium as he's in the gun on first down. Gonna fake the handoff, scramble to the far side. That ball complete up across the 25, near the 29, down to the 30 for a first down, Saskatchewan. Jager comes out throwing and completes it for a gain of 11 yards.
Yeah, a ton of production out of that running shoot offense out of Hawaii. Here shows off his mobility, something everybody really likes about him. RPO manages to evade the defensive end working upfield to his shoulder and finds an open target sitting about 12 yards downfield to his right. Great mobility, great accuracy. That's what he's brought to camp thus far.
Dene Jr. again on the reception for the Riders. First down for Cooperators Bazandowski Insurance and Financial Services. Hand the ball off. First man through, going to get across the 35, maybe the 36. Not a lot of running room there. Once again for Quali Conley, it'll be second and long Saskatchewan. Well, actually, he's going to get a great spot. It looks like he's stopped, and he's done this to me a couple of times. Fights for yards at the end of the play.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want out of every running back, right?
Yeah.
Hard to tackle. Doesn't get arm tackled. Don't bring him down on your first hit. Churning for extra yardage. And it puts it into a more manageable second down, right? Here you got 2nd and 5.
Absolutely. 2nd and 5 for Saskatchewan. Ball in the middle of the field for Braden Schenk. He's back to pass, has a little time now. He'll sling it near side. That complete up to the 40, 45-yard line near the first down as COC Mariner stretched out for it. Indeed, he'll have it.
Well, Shager was looking for Mariner this entire time. And Mariner had a long route. Like first he works his way upfield, then he goes inside, then he comes back out. And when he came back out, that's when Braden Shager gets to him. You can only do that if you're able to stand in the pocket. And that was what stuck out there. There was no Winnipeg Blue Bomber jerseys around Shager. Gave him a ton of time, and he was able to wait out his initial target.
Riders bring a tight end in on first down. It's 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line here in the third quarter of play. Shager fakes the handoff. Back to pass, throws it, that's complete. Flags fly in the secondary, however. We'll have to wait and see. The pass was complete and should be good enough for a first down. As once again, Junior comes up with the ball for the Riders in Abdul Janae Jr.
This is going to be on Ian LaRue. Like the way I rolled that? LaRue.
I did.
Legal contact on receiver, Winnipeg number 41.
Yeah, it was LaRue.
First down, penalties decline.
So first down for the Riders as Braden Shager has looked impressive coming on. Taking a look at your statistics for Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers.
Sorry, Dave, I was wrong. It was 41 Williams.
I
just wanted to say LaRue.
Yeah, you nailed it. Shager 3 of 3 for 35 yards. This is his first series, and he's had 4 plays of work, but he's impressively moving the Rider offense after they scored a touchdown thanks to Jack Cohn on their previous series. 3 receivers come near side. Looks like there's some miscommunication in the backfield for the Riders receiving group. Shager undeterred. Back to pass, looking downfield, doesn't see anything. And now he's just going to fire it into the first row on the far side as nothing was open.
Yeah, that's a really good decision by Shager. Well, here's the problem. Every route that he had access to there was moving from right to left towards the sideline. Even Daniel Weeb, who was far right, was coming left. And by the time Shager was forced to turn around, there was literally 0 green jerseys to his right. So you needed to throw it away. Don't be a hero. Don't try to get yards that aren't there with your legs.
2nd down and 10 for Saskatchewan here in the third quarter. The Riders leading 21-17. Shager in the gun, 3 receivers far side. Here comes some pressure, and Shager gets away. Gonna scramble to the far side, still on his feet, throws it up, that ball incomplete. Shager somehow was able to get it away, and now the Riders are calling for a flag.
Yeah.
None forthcoming. There could have been a hold at the line as well on the Riders.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see if Corey Mace decides to dial up the CFL Replay Center.
Well, Rider Nation's mad that we're not getting a pass interference to the far sideline on the right. But they also did not call a blatant hold by Spencer Brown on the left tackle position.
Well, we are going to go to the CFL Replay Center for Regina Trades and Skills Center. Our first challenge of the year from Corey Mace, albeit in preseason. And now, so you heard Tim Croker announce challenging for pass interference. What's going to be interesting is you got to give credit to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the University of Saskatchewan, and all their partners who have combined to put this production on full CFL quality. So yes, indeed, we can get a look at this.
Well, It was funny when you said he's going to go to a challenge. I was like, well, how's he going to challenge? How do we even have the capacity to replay this? And absolutely we do.
Yeah.
Right on the big movie screen board down there, they're already showing it. It did look like the defensive back got there early.
3:18 to go, and we are going to take a timeout. So 3:18 remains in the third quarter. Saskatchewan leading 21-17. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
The stats are right, presented by Patterson Out.
.ca, whether you're here at Griffith Stadium or anywhere in the province, get yours and be part of the biggest payouts anywhere and help support youth programming in our province. Riders 5050.ca to get your ticket today, as it looks like this penalty challenge.
Pass interference against Winnipeg 34.
So pass interference is indeed going to be called on the Blue Bombers after the review of the play. Connor Shea, the first-round draft pick in 2025 of the Bombers out of Wyoming, is flagged. So Saskatchewan gets a first down at Winnipeg's 44-yard line with now just under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. Saskatchewan leading 21-17. Shager in the gun, two receivers in motion far side. Fake the handoff. He's going to have to scramble though with Shager, and again he's going to just have to fire it. That is going to be, looks like it's almost intercepted. The Bombers are saying that they have it, and the officials are...
Yeah, it bounced off Sexton. First of all, there's too much pressure.
Going to agree?
Too much pressure here. It causes Shager to need to get out of the pocket early, so he's not adjusting his lunge point to routes. He's just bailing because there's too much pressure immediately in his face. So he sees Sexton. Sexton's kind of slipping as Shager goes to throw this, and kind of ricochets off his shoulder and into the hands of the Bombers.
So another Olympic RTM's turnover. This time the Bombers get it. They'll have the ball when we come back. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Elgersma still in the game, hands off, and it's a big hole to run through for the big man, Chris Ike. 6'1", 228, and goes crashing for a first down across the 50, up near the 52-yard line.
Yeah, you got a running back there that's the same size as your offensive lineman, and he's just downhill. No hesitation, get the ball, get to the A-gap. You're gonna have to bring your pad level here if you're a defensive lineman. And if you're a linebacker, it's better to plug the gap than just absorb a hit.
First and 10 for Winnipeg. Elgersma fakes the handoff. Back to pass. Has time. Airing it out. Looking near side. It's up. And what a catch right at the sideline. Hauling it in. A very busy man. And Dorian Singer, who's had the ball all around him today. He hauls it in for a first down in Rough Rider territory.
Yeah, this is great. I think it's Dorian Singer starts this route as the innermost receiver to the right side of his offensive line, and just gradually works his way upfield and towards the sideline. And it's a beautiful touch pass from Elgersma. I actually thought he should have gone to the seam route up the hash initially and questioned it, but man, what a touch on the ball, and Singer pays it off for him.
First down to the Rough Rider 34-yard line. Four receivers, far side, wide side for Elgersma, who hands it off. And again, big Chris Ike gets to the line of scrimmage, is able to spin his way out of a tackle, as a matter of fact, and then stumbles ahead for 3 yards.
Well, it's a great job by Seyo Ladipa, the strong side linebacker for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Again, if you got a big back like that, the best thing you do or can do is just hit him early, right? You see in both the defensive back and a linebacker, first one showing up on the line of scrimmage doesn't allow Chris Ike to get going, and you got a 2nd and 8, or 7, sorry, Dave.
Ball at the Saskatchewan 32-yard line for Elgersma, who's in the shotgun. 5 receivers. They go in motion, 3 near side. Ball is up, and it's picked off. The Riders have it. In and out of the arms of the intended receiver. You can bet that Winnipeg's got a challenges, aren't they? As there was all kinds of contact in the defensive backfield before the Riders come up with another Olympic RTM's turnover.
Well, Malcolm Bell's in the right place at the right time. First-round draft pick for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Elgersma has his target fall in front of him, and Bell, who's playing his back to the sideline, is just standing there, and he catches the tip. Great reaction. Another turnover for the young secondary in the green and white.
Youngster Malcolm Bell makes the play and is all smiles on the sideline, and why not? especially when you graduate from a school as good as he did.
Well, actually, I ran into another Michigan State alumni, Vincent Donaldson, while I was down there at halftime, and he was saying he was excited that there's another MSU secondary guy in there, and we'll take him to lunch when we get back to YQR.
So a promising drive snuffed out by the Rough Rider defense, and Braden Shager goes back to work. Going to hand the ball off. Conley spins in the backfield, then he's going to get a bud maybe a yard after the fact, and not much more. It'll be second and long for the Riders here in the latter stage of the third quarter. 34.7 seconds to go, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the Riders are trying to get this to the right, and it's a really good job by the linebackers here for the backside linebacker here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Just sort of attacks as soon as you see the action go away from him, and he's the first one in on Conley. Similar to the play against Chris Ike, they just don't let Conley get his legs going, right? Bring him down, 2nd and 8.
Gets a couple. Ball far hash for the Rough Riders. Shager back to pass. Time initially. Now he's going to scramble. Steps up. Looks near side. Ball complete with room to run. Across the 30-35. Finally hauled out of bounds of the Riders sideline in the 40-yard line as Johnny Johnson III, who's got a touchdown reception already, hauls in a big one with a lot of YAC yards for Birmingham's and, of course, our friends at Pump Jacks Cathedral. So big first down for the Rough Riders with YAC yards to spare. And that's the way the third quarter will end on the Quality Tire scoreboard. It's 21-17, Saskatchewan leading. Quality Tire with 9 locations across Saskatchewan and at qualitytire.ca. Back with more in a moment. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network. Exciting time for you and your family, Colson. So congratulations, and we are going to miss you, but we know you're going to be a fantastic father as Braden Shager gets hauled down by the face mask. There's no penalty on the play as the Bombers got in there quickly in pursuit, and right away Coach Mace is going to put his flag down and go to the CFL Replay Center for Regina Trades and Skills Center.
Looks like we get a hand far too high up on Shager near his shoulder pad level to the head. Here's the problem though right now. Shager's been running for his life for the better part of like the last 6-7 plays. There's been far too much pressure on him, right? And I mean, if you're snapping the football and you're immediately being met with a defensive lineman in your face, it's going to make it a tough day for you. So Tommy Stevens is going to check in while they make sure Shager's all right. Crowd is moaning once they get a look at this sweet big screen.
We got a little dust on the bottle happening on the radio. Not sure where the music is coming from, but the crowd does not like
the music.
There was no flag called on the play, and Braden Shager is grabbing towards his eye as he's coming off the field, and Tommy Stevens is going to have to come on. As I don't know that this replay is going to take long.
After automatic review, we have roughing the passer against Winnipeg.
So
58.
Well, if I'm Tommy Stevens, I'm hoping for like an RPO call at the moment, because anytime a quarterback has dropped back over the last few offensive plays, they've been being harassed by defensive linemen in blue and gold jerseys.
And that's a touch concerning, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Tommy Stevens comes into the game for Braden Shager, who was shaken up. His mom, Ginger, that's Braden's mom, I'll explain in a moment, is the first down play is a handoff, and Conley doesn't go anywhere, and it's going to be a loss of a yard. But actually, Braden's mom, Ginger, who I ran into before the game, she has not missed many of his games, despite the fact that they live in Texas and he was playing university ball in Hawaii. They were in Calgary last week, and here they are in Saskatoon today.
Well, not a bad excuse to go to Hawaii, though, right?
No,
my son's playing. Yeah, I kind of got to go.
So a loss of a yard for the Riders on first down.
But the problem here, again, is just absolutely nothing up front. The Bombers just really starting to do well when it comes to being able to get off the ball and into the quarterback's face.
Riders go max protect for Tommy Stevens, who still has to scramble from the pocket. He's going to try to make something out of nothing.
Flag that.
And he takes a late hit at the end of the play. And once again, for the second consecutive penalty, it's going to be on 58, David Reese.
Yeah, David Reese here. I mean, we play it well because this is what you want. You want to flush the quarterback because your pass rush is working. The problem with Reese here, the problem with Reese is that Stevens throws the football, takes a step or two, and Reese still hits it. Right, you can't do that. Even if you're not trying with your arms to hit him, you kind of shouldered him as if he was playing hockey. But you're just not going to get away with that. Reese has got to learn that, and more importantly, the Riders have been under a ton of quarterback pressure, but they've still managed to get the ball upfield because of the penalties.
13:46 to go in the fourth quarter, pardon me. Riders leading 21-7. They've got a first down all the way at the Winnipeg 41-yard line. Tommy Stevens in, relief of an injured Braden Shager. Hands the ball off. Conley, nothing doing. Hog-tied, wrestled down. Big physical play by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
It's a great job. Strong side linebacker Jalen Smith out of North Texas. Right off the backside, right into Conley. And both teams now doing a good job just not letting the opposing running back get going. They're meeting them pretty much right as soon as the ball's handed off. Tough to get any yards like that. Great job by the Bombers. 2nd and 12.
Ball on the 42 of Winnipeg, right between the hash marks for Tommy Stevens. Clock is counting down.
Stevens is like, well, just put me on a short yardage. You can have this stuff, because this is.
3 receivers go far side for Stevens. 2 close. Bombers are going to bring the blitz, and here comes the house. Stevens loads it up, looking for Weed. Can't find him. And a good ball by Tommy Stevens. Daniel Weed just couldn't find it as he had to contort his body a couple of different ways. And Stevens saw the blitz, took the shot, and falls incomplete.
Well, it's a good shot to take, right? Because it's one-on-one coverage. There's 0 safeties because it's a 0 blitz, right? So everybody is on the line of scrimmage, and the DBs are playing man one-on-one. Stevens actually airs it out really well. Daniel Weeb's got a chance at this. He just couldn't locate it after he turned around, just trying to get up that sideline to the right. So a lot of penalty yardage, still ending up punting the ball.
Jesse Mirko, a sidewinding Aussie-style kick that'll be taken by the returner for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on the fly. His momentum takes him up right towards the return team. He'll get it out across the 5 near the 7-yard line, and that's where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers will start when we come back. The Riders are leading 21-17 here in the fourth quarter. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
So do I. It's a damn shame.
All right, as the Bombers break huddle, we will get an update momentarily from the sidelines and see what's happening there. But Winnipeg backed up deep in their territory as they bring in their 3rd quarterback of the day. Handoff on first down to Chris Ike as Bryce Perkins is into the ball game for the Blue Bombers. Not a lot of running room there. It'll be 2nd and long.
And this is a fantastic job by Sundiana Anderson, who's playing the right defensive end spot. He gets a fullback coming to his side. So the fullback's trying to cut him out, right? Trying to keep him on the line of scrimmage and just create some separation between the defensive tackle, defensive end. He does a great job playing the block, and he's the reason why they get nothing out of it. He's able to get his hands down on the block and get in on the tackle. He keeps it to 2nd and 8.
12:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Riders lead by 4. 2nd and long, back to pass. Perkins gets flushed from the pocket. Now dumps it underneath. That ball is complete, but they'll be well shy of the first down, up around the 17-yard line, perhaps.
Yeah.
Not much more needed to get near the 20, and it's an incompletion, or pardon me, it won't be a first down, and likely a kicking situation for the Blue Bombers.
Yeah, tough call here by the Riders. You got 4 defensive linemen out. You don't need to fool anybody at this point, right? So they line up 3 guys, and they have put Sundiana Anderson in a linebacker spot, but they tell him to rush the pass. All that does is just basically make him late as a 4th pass rusher. So the Bombers still did well to just, sort of gravitate towards the direction, or sorry, the Riders did a good job of just cutting down options for the quarterback and getting off the field.
So the punt team comes out, another EB Power Sports in Assiniboia.
Jeez.
Punt, and what a boomer with the wind at the back. It's going to be fielded by the Riders on a bounce in the own arms at the 29-yard line. Scramble ahead for about 11 yards, and not much more. Jalen Johnson on the return for the Riders. And Saskatchewan will have the football and a report from the sidelines when we come back. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
Seemingly in decent shape.
Yeah, he's back on the field. Thanks so much, Tegan. As he fakes the handoff, and now his pass is intercepted. Going back the other way are the Bombers. Nobody's going to stop him.
Caden Jenkins.
The way to the end zone. 2nd pick 6 of the day. The Winnipeg Blue Bomber defense has put a couple of scores on the board.
Yeah, maybe he came in 1 play too early. This was a quick hitting play, but the Winnipeg Blue Bomber defender.
Intercepted by number 56, Jacoby Clinton.
It was Jacoby Clinton out there. He just kind of stays on the line of scrimmage. It's almost like a Willie Jefferson play where you don't get a pass rush. He just sort of waits on the line of scrimmage and he jumps up, times it perfectly, and shows great hands doing it. And a pick 6 goes in the books for number 10 and the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
The Riders are making a change here, and a little bit of a delay as we're waiting to see what happens on the far side.
The referees are talking about something. Mike O'Shea doing his Wally Buono impression and joining the ref at the 25-yard line.
That's a Wally Buono, is it?
Oh my God, Wally Buono would go into like the end zone if he wanted to. He just did whatever he wanted. It was awesome.
He was Wally Buono.
Yeah. He could have coached the game with a beer if he wanted to.
So 10:21 to go, and a delay on the field as Braden Shager is still out there.
Shager's like, please take this touchdown off the board. Please take this touchdown off the board. Darn it, we're not taking it off the board.
No. So after whatever was being reviewed is reviewed, the Bombers will go to
against Winnipeg number 91. Unnecessary hit. That 15-yard penalty will be applied on the kickoff. We go to the conference.
Jonah Pace out of Iowa gets hit with the unnecessary roughness. Fortunately for the Bombers, it didn't affect the touchdown. It just affects the yardage in which they kick off, right, Dave?
Yep. So Jacoby Clinton, a 41-yard pick 6 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, with the point after through the uprights. That was one of the ugliest converts you're ever going to see, but they don't put pictures on the scoreboard.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next year, when those sticks are 15 yards back, that kick ain't even close.
24-21, Winnipeg leads. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter at Griffith Stadium. We'll take a break. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
All right, Rider fans.
Gets kicked off here at Griffith Stadium. Matthew Sexton on the return, able to take it up near midfield. However, flags come out, and likely an illegal block is going to bring it back on the Saskatchewan Roughriders after the Winnipeg Blue Bombers took a 24-21 lead.
Saskatchewan number 28. 10-yard penalty. First down, Saskatchewan.
So Malik Straker, who celebrated his birthday back on Thursday, takes the penalty.
You know, you get the feeling too here, watching these Bombers come on the field. I think that they're pretty excited to rush the passer here. You got a couple injuries. You know the starters aren't coming back, so you got some really raw talent out there. Darius Bell, you got Jason Williams still. Eric Anderson's out there. Got to do a good job holding up here for Tommy Stevens.
So 1st and 10 for the Riders. They start back at their 30 following the penalty. Shager, hands off, nothing doing, no room, and it's going to be a loss of a couple as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers able to close the gaps and tackle for loss. It's going to be 2nd and long. Saskatchewan now trailing by 3.
Yeah, well, I was saying that, you know, it looks like they're licking their lips a little bit, and this is a good example. You got the left end just sort of cutting inside, which really he's not supposed to do in this defensive look, because he's exposing the C gap, which is the last sort of line of defense. But he takes that chance because he knows he's got a really good shot to make the play, and he ends up making the play coming on the inside. So 2nd and 12 here for the Riders.
9:03 to go in the fourth quarter. Shager back to pass, throws it near side. That was a timing route, timing just off between him and the intended receiver on this near side, Shamar McBean. It's incomplete, and it's going to be a 2-and-out for the Rider offense.
A little bit of lull in energy here in Husky Stadium. The fans are getting a little bit restless is what they're seeing so far, or now. But again, here's what it is. There's not a lot of guys out there that are familiar with the pro element.
Oscar Chapman on to punt for the Riders. Wind in his face, good kick, great hang time. It's up. And it's going to be returned by the Bombers up across the 45, pushed out of bounds at the 50. Nice job there on the return for Gavin Cobb, the former University of Manitoba Bison. Here comes Bryce Perkins and the Winnipeg Blue Bomber offense. However, we do have a rider down on the field for a WorkSafe Saskatchewan injury break. Workplace health and safety is everyone's responsibility. A strong Saskatchewan is a safe Saskatchewan. Is this game, you know, Jameer Thurman told me, Luke, that they were anticipating physicality. That's what he wanted to see, was physicality in this second game, and I think that he got it.
Regular season kicks off at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, well, unfortunately they got it on both sides, right? The Riders came out here and they were physical, but the Bombers are really have been relentless in the way they've approached this first exhibition game, and it's shown in the physicality in which they've brought on the field. So still got a ways to go in this game and a number of opportunities for you to put something good on tape. Got Carson Sombach back there playing at safety. Got Nick Weeb now, product out of the U of S.
Benny Sapp III, by the way, the player that was helped off the field here at Griffith Stadium. So he gets helped off. The Riders defense will get set to go to work. The Bombers, with the wind in their back, will start first. No. Sportscage.com will answer that story. First and 10 for Winnipeg following the timeout. Riders going to bring the blitz. Perkins back to pass, throws it, skips in front of the receiver, incomplete. Great job by the Riders to get pressure. Perkins looks down on himself, flaps his hands side. Should have more than that, but he was retreating as he was throwing.
One more importantly, I love the approach by Josh Bell, right? You got a lot of young guys out there. You want your team to play fast. Dial up a blitz, right? Make them play fast due to scheme, not due to the things that you're throwing out there and asking them to do. So I like the call. It forced Winnipeg and Bryce Perkins to throw it early. Now you're able to pass rush because it's 2nd and 10.
8:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Riders trailing by 3. Perkins in the shotgun. Chris Ike standing to his right. 3 receivers come to his left on the near side. 4 down linemen for the Riders. Perkins back to pass. Throws it. It's up. It's caught far side. Big hit, but what a job just to hang on to the football. Nice play there by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
Going up and getting it was number 17, Dorian Singer.
Well, it's a heck of a throw from Perkins because he's on the far side hash and throws it. Sorry, he's on the near side hash and throws it to the far side of the field. He's really only got one guy pressuring him, and it's Justin Weaver on a good bull rush. So he's able to step into that throw, and it's a beautiful first down conversion.
1st and 10, now at the Saskatchewan 44-yard line for Perkins, who's in the gun. Again, 3 targets go to his right. That's the far side of the formation. Riders stack the box and bring the blitz. Perkins to pass, recognizes blitz, escapes, comes near side, pulls it, flag comes down. Perkins going to go for a run. 35-30, steps out of bounds at the 28, but there is a flag down in the backfield. Looks like it's a holding call.
Yeah, it is a holding call on Winnipeg, so Perkins just did extra cardio for no reason.
I'll let him tell you.
I like it, though. I mean, it was the right idea. Everything broke down in front of you. There wasn't any open targets. We saw a wide open left side of the field.
So going to back this one up all the way to the Riders, the 54-yard line of the Riders, just shy of the midfield straight.
It's one of those deals where you don't have a ton of plays for 1st and 20, right, Dave? So you got to come in and think positioning right now for 2nd down. Do you run a screen here, right? Do you run a quick hitter to just try to get 6 or 7 and cut down on the 2nd down yardage?
So 1st and long, Perkins back to pass. Airs it out far side, high pass, caught by the receiver. Going to be a gain of about 5, maybe 6, inside the 50, down to about the 48.
Yeah, they give him about 7, so it was a good throw. And the reason he got to do it is because there wasn't a ton of pressure. So good job by the Bombers offensive line holding up. Perkins makes it, and again, that's what we talk about right now. You cut down the 2nd down. It's still 2nd and 14, but it could have been 2nd and 20, right? So now do you run a screen at this or just allow your receivers to get downfield and trust this O-line to hold up?
Ball on the Riders 48, 4 receivers come near side. For Bryce Perkins in the shotgun, 1 back standing to his right. He's back to pass. Perkins looks to the near side. Gets away from the first wave of pressure, throws it. What a throw, what a catch. Oh my, Winnipeg hauls it in up at the 27-yard line, and just a nifty little catch by Joey Kirkoren, and it's going to be another Winnipeg first down.
Well, this is what we said, right? Do you just allow the offensive line to hold up? And they do, right? Not much pressure, especially on the interior. You get a little bit to the outside, so Perkins steps up in the pocket and just dials a dime to Joey Corcoran, who's coming from the numbers and just sort of moving towards the post. Outstanding.
1st and 10 for Winnipeg, moving the sticks efficiently with quarterback Bryce Perkins at the helm. Ball on the 21 of Saskatchewan. Perkins back to pass again. Going to pull it down, looks to go for a run, then has to bubble back. Now going to try to go to the far side. Stiff arms a man. Perkins showing some athleticism, all that. Going to get him maybe 2 yards.
Yeah.
But made something maybe out of nothing.
Yeah, he ran a lot of yards to get 2 there, but again, great athleticism. This is a dual threat quarterback, right? And again, he's seen some NFL defenses, so there's not much that you're going to throw at him here in this exhibition game that he hasn't seen. So great job moving around. Just didn't get much. And now if you're the Winnipeg Blue Bombers too, you're also in preservation mode in terms of field goal points, right?
2nd down and 9 for the Bombers inside the Ashdown Furniture and Interior red zone. 4 minutes and 49 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Bombers leading by 3. Back to pass is Perkins again, going to float one up, corner of the end zone. It's up and incomplete. Nice contested catch there, and good pass coverage defense by the Riders. Incomplete, about 10 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah, so you just saw a little bit of indecision on Dorian Singer here. Perkins wants him to go to the back of the end zone and just compete for a 50-50 ball, but Dorian Singer hesitates a couple times, and he's got one of my sort of interesting guys in camp here, Tomlinson, on him. Tomlinson's undersized, but he does a good job here competing for the football that's in the air, and the Riders hold the Bombers to a field goal attempt. It took a while, but, you know, hey, you bend, but you don't break.
32-yarder coming up. End-over-end kick sails through, and now 2 of 3 for the day is Brady Lidster.
Right at the VIP tent. Oh. You know, all the bougie fans sipping their wine coolers. That football's coming at you.
You do realize that you're going to be walking through that area.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, they almost hit Craig Reynolds. Someone's getting fined for that. That's El Presidente. We're not having that.
So the Riders about to get the football back. 4:26 now to go in the 4th quarter. Again, Brady Lidster now 2 of 3 in the afternoon for kicking. The Riders are just going to take the ball at their 40 and start their drive there. Shager remains in at quarterback. 1st and 10. Bombers look like they lined up offside, no flags. Shager escapes the pocket, dumps it underneath. That ball is complete. Big hit at the end of the play after the catch was made by Siosi Mariner.
Well, they got a great jump on the snap. It was Antonio Harris, number 50, a defensive end. But it was the only guy to be able to add some pressure to it, and it didn't bother Shager. And he was able to just sort of stay patient, wait for a target to identify himself, and they find it. He's at 2nd and a long 5 now, so it's a lot more manageable than your 2nd and 7+ downs. You just got to watch the pressure here, man, because the Bombers, they're bringing it here in this second half.
5 receiver look for the Riders. Free man gets through. Shager's pass complete to the Bombers' 46-yard line. Shager able to make the quick read on the hot route, and he's able to thread the needle. Pass complete to Johnny Johnson.
Yeah, Johnny Johnson just got here, fresh legs, right? And Shager, this is a really good job anticipating contact. He knows this blitz, he's gonna get hit, and he just sort of lobs the ball for Johnny Johnson, and Johnny Johnson gets there to the spot quickly. So it's good knowing where he's supposed to be related to the blitz pressure that they're seeing.
Saskatchewan Roughriders are going to take a timeout with just over 3 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. So they'll get 2 timeouts essentially and preserve one for inside the 3 minutes as they trail 27-21 here in Saskatoon. Coming up, of course, you're going to head down, get to the Riders locker room, find out what the coach has to say, as well as our offensive defensive game star. We'll check in with Tegan Whitco. She will be down on the field. And then, of course, we'll turn things over to you, Rider Nation, with the radio roundtable. Want to hear all about it. So let us know what you think as we get that set. As play is whistled in by referee Tim Croker. The Riders still in their offensive huddle as they'll scrimmage 1st and 10 thanks to a Cooperators Bazendowski Insurance and Financial Services first down, your first choice for insurance. Ball is at the 45-yard line. Shager back to pass. Pressure comes from the outside. He steps into the pocket, delivers. It's complete. 40, spun around as the receiver up near the 37-yard line. Nice pitch and catch there is once again coming up with it is Shamar McBean.
Yeah, and a better job by the offensive line. You're seeing defensive ends upfield, but you're seeing the interior defensive front not getting off the line of scrimmage. So Shager still has a good pocket to operate in. And again, when he sees that, when he's had a good pocket to operate in, he's been really accurate. And he demonstrates it there. You're at 2nd and 2.
8-yard gain for McBean, and that looks like the 3-minute warning is going to come up, and indeed it will, as we'll take a break. The finale of this one is coming up. 27-21, Winnipeg leads. The Riders are threatening, and they have the ball when we come back. This is the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.
All right, fans.
In the Bridge City. Flags fly, or at least the whistles were sounding prior to the Riders breaking huddle, and now we're going to step back and we'll get ourselves in sync. 3 minutes exactly to go in the 4th quarter. Bombers load up the line. It's a short yardage play, and ball's fumbled. Very few miscue for the Riders, and the first one they got on short yardage.
And you got to remember, too, you've got a really green rookie in Darius Bell at center, and he hasn't been in a lot of Tommy Stevens short yardage plays, right, where he's got 2 defensive tackle monsters on both of his shoulders. So
I think it's Jez Janvier that's at center now. Is Darius Bell?
You sure? Oh no, it was Bell's gone. Yeah. So it is Janvier then?
Yes, Darius Bell and Darius Washington.
What would I do without you, man?
Both went to the locker room.
Your color commentator can't even identify the right guy. You're saving the day here, buddy.
No, that was Tegan actually.
Oh, thanks, Tegan. Tegan just doing our job. That's embarrassing.
So first down after the penalty as Braden Shager comes back on for the Riders.
She's got
1st and 10. Back to pass Shager. Guns it near side. That's going to be incomplete as it skipped off the turf just in front of Deshaun Mims. He couldn't save it.
A little too low. He had the right idea, though. Deshaun Mims was the guy that he needed to go to. Not sure how many yards he would have gotten, but you're 2nd down. And I guess you're in the 4th quarter, right? So you'll probably go for it on 3rd if you get 5 yards.
2:55 to go here in the 4th quarter. Ball is spotted on the 32-yard line of Winnipeg for the Riders. Shager gets the call in from Mark Mueller as the team continues to huddle up, trailing by 6. 3 receivers jog out far side. Bombers going to load up the line. Looks like they're going to blitz, and it looks like everybody's coming. Indeed they do. Shager gets it away, throws it near side. That's complete, but a shoestring tackle. Nice job there coming up and making the play for DeAndre Lamont.
Yeah. Well, Lamont knows that he can do this. He can play really tight to Sexton because, again, the timing of the blitz is preventing any quarterback from holding the ball. So it's a good job reacting because if he doesn't make this tackle, Sexton's in the end zone. So we don't get anything out of that. And 3rd and 5, instead of going for it, we're kicking a field goal.
As the crowd buzzes here in Saskatoon, reminds me of the West Final a little bit, the same type of buzz.
Don't worry, it worked out for us in the end, Rider Nation.
Field goal attempt coming for Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. It's going to be Jonathan Kim that's on. The Riders are 2 for 3 in the field goal department. Kim, though, is 2 for 2 this afternoon here at Griffith Stadium. Again, lots of time to go. The holder will be Oscar Chapman. This is going to be an attempt from 35 yards on the near hash. Play whistled in. Kim getting set, clean snap. The hold, it's up, and it's through, and Kim is 3 for 3 on the day. And that cuts into the lead, 27-24.
And thanks to that WestJet field goal, the lucky man in section 7, row 10, seat 9.
27-24, the Bombers will now receive a kickoff. And a 3-point lead here in the 4th quarter, and 2:32 remaining here in the 4th is...
Plenty of time.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Plenty of time. Still a lot of evaluation opportunities. That's the best thing about the preseason, right? There is no mop-up time. There is no...
No, you're right.
It's just everybody's still got an opportunity. You got 2 minutes and change to to make this football club if you're a Winnipeg Blue Bomber or you're a Saskatchewan Roughrider.
So coming on to kick the ball is going to be Alex Hale. As really, Hale, all the kickers have just split the reps, no matter what it is. Whether it's a field goal, whether it's a kick, whether it's a punt, they just split it. And that's why Alex Hale would come on to kick this one away.
Yeah, and that's the new CFL, right? It seems as though you can no longer be just a field goal kicker. You got to be able to do field goals, and you also got to be able to kick off, right? So your punters are holders now.
Well, and especially when you consider the fact that next season those goalposts are moving back, right?
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. No more easy 35-yard field goals.
Hale approaches the ball, end over end kick. Going to be taken near side by the Bombers up across the 20, 25, 30, 35 up to the 40. Flag comes down late after a tackle was made by Nick Weed. Harrison on the return for the Bombers, but it's going to be for naught as Carson Sombach, also in there on the tackle for the Riders.
Yeah, Sombach's, I'm telling you, I mean, this team came in knowing that Nelson Lacombo and Jackson Ford played a big role on this roster, and Sombach's come in and played really well.
So 2:27 remaining in the fourth quarter. Winnipeg holding a 27-24 advantage on the Saskatchewan Roughriders here in Saskatoon. Fans come to life. Loudest we've heard them here this afternoon. They've been a pretty big bunch here today in Saskatoon as the Bombers have to send on substitution.
We get a quick tune out here, Dave, and there's still plenty of time on the clock. 2:27 in the CFL in the fourth quarter and a three-point game. There's a lot of game to go.
Bryce Perkins still in at quarterback for the Blue Bombers. He's in the gun. Extra bodies in along the offensive line. Low snap, hands the ball off. Can't find the running back, just jumping and juking back and forth and not going to get much, maybe a couple on the play.
This is a great job by the interior defensive front for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Marcus Haynes does a good job getting in. You got number 90, Jalen Pate. He's played defensive end and defensive tackle this camp. Darvin Ham from NC State. He's on the interior as well. So now we got an opportunity to rush the pass. Do the Riders send an extra linebacker to make it a little bit more difficult, or do they let four defensive linemen carry the majority of the pass rush work?
2:10 and counting. Perkins in the shotgun, three receivers to his right. That's the far side. Drops back.
I like that
decision. Feels the pressure, steps up. Now going to scramble far side underneath, and it's dropped. Perkins did a nice job of extending the play, but the pass was dropped by the intended receiver, and it is, as you mentioned, Luke, the two and out.
And I love the decision from Josh Bell. Clearly playing a win here. He says, look, we're not just going to trust the four guys up front. He sends two linebackers and a defensive back. And the result is flushing Perkins. He gets a pass off. It wouldn't have been a first down anyways, but it was a drop.
Andrews to punt it for the Bombers. High kick with the wind at his back. Sexton stops it with a hand. Then he picks it up again. Flag comes down as now he'll go up the sidelines before being pushed out at around the 27. There is a flag down well far on the side of the other side of the field, and gonna have to wait and see what this ruling is. As Sexton went out of bounds when trying to put the punt back in.
Yeah, he pushed the ball down
so
and then stepped out of bounds, then jumped back in bounds to get it.
And because he wasn't forced out of bounds by anybody but himself, he may have become an ineligible player. And that's what the call is going to be from Tim Crow.
Oh, man, you're all over these rules, Dave. You're all over it, bud.
Thanks, Lee.
Legal participation, Saskatchewan number 86. Out of bounds, getting back in to touch the ball. Tender penalty, first down.
So the Riders are going to be backed up with 1:45 to go and trailing by 3, and Braden Shager going to get an opportunity to run.
Well, the first order of business here, and you probably said this and talked about it as a unit on the sidelines, is we need to hold up on the pass pro. And to be honest, they've done a little bit better here in this fourth quarter protecting the quarterback. You haven't seen him scrambling as much as he was in the third quarter.
So first down, ball is on the Saskatchewan 11-yard line. Shager, lots of time, has a man,
Yeah.
that's complete, up to the 40, 45, still on his feet to the 50 and 51-yard line. Big catch, Abdul-Jabbar Jr.
And like I said, man, every time Shager gets time, he makes the right decision. This is Janae Jr. just running up the seam on the hash, and Shager is able to set back in the pocket. He's unbothered, and he throws a strike. Great job.
Riders back to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 50. 3 receivers near side. Bombers bring blitz. Shager has time, throws it far side. That's complete to the Bombers side of center. Down to the 48-yard line. It's Janae Jr. again, and another first down.
Well, they get Janae Jr. In a one-on-one situation against linebacker Spencer Brown. And here's the downside of the Winnipeg blitz. This time it doesn't get there because the blitzing linebacker falls over. So now Shager's got one-on-one receiver versus linebacker and time. It equals a first down. Great execution.
90 seconds to go in the ball game. Riders trailing by 3. They're 1st and 10 now at the Winnipeg 48-yard line. Ball left-hand hash. 3 receivers on the far side for Shager, who's in the gun. Calls the receivers to the line. Here comes the blitz again. Shager gets rid of it quickly, and it's complete up near the 35-yard line. Big first down catch again for the Riders.
Yeah, this is a good job by Deshaun Mims, and he also has some help by Shamar McBean. They both sit at 5 yards. McBean next to the sideline and Mims on the numbers, and it puts the DB that's between them in a tough spot. He's got to choose which one, and Shager finds Mims. First down again.
Ball at the 35. Shager gets rid of it quickly. It's picked up by Weeb. He gets horse collar tackled, and now he's going to be ruled down. But Daniel Weeb is going to make the catch, and the ball is going to go even further, but actually it's going to be roughing the passer.
Another roughing the passer.
Before a gain of 7, and there is a flag on the play.
We also have a shaken up Blue Bomber on the play. Is down and slow to get up is Robert Javier. He's down at his own 29-yard line.
CFL roughing the passer, Winnipeg number 21. 50 yards out of the end of the play. Starting at 37.
Daniel Reeve did a masterful job of making the catch.
Yeah, it was a fantastic catch. It was low to the ground. Weave just sort of plucks it up off the turf. And the penalty gets the Riders the football here with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. They're going to spot the ball on the Bomber 14.
Javier is being taken a look at. Again, coming up at the conclusion of the ball game, our offensive and defensive game stars. Tegan Whitco will have a special guest down on the sidelines. And, of course, you will be in the Rough Rider locker room speaking with head coach Corey Mace following this one. Riders looking to march the ball is impressive plays put together by Shager, recognizing the blitz, but also recognizing where that hot pattern is, where that hot play is, and having that communication with the receivers.
Yeah, and they took advantage of a busted blitz too, right? And again, that's where you're vulnerable if your blitz doesn't get there, right? And the quarterback has some time, and in this case, Shager managed to have time on a couple occasions. You're going to advance the ball as long as your quarterback and your receivers win their one-on-one battles, right?
So 1st and 10 for the Riders at the Winnipeg 14-yard line. A minute 10 to go in the football game. Saskatchewan trails 27-24. Braden Shager and the Riders break huddle. 3 receivers go to the far side of the formation. Lone back in the backfield is Quali Conley. Bombers look like they're not going to blitz this time. They don't. Shager guns it far side, complete up inside the 5 to the 4, but no more, as it will be close to a first down. Is a good throw there by Shager right into the arms of his receiver, Donnie Johnson.
And they started rushing to the line. They just got to understand they don't need to rush to the line. The clock's in our favor right now. You got 1 minute left, and you got a short yardage situation here, 2nd and 1. Shager's going to stay in. Tommy Stevens isn't coming out. Got plenty of time right now on the clock. You don't need to rush.
Center. 2nd down and 1. Straight ahead to his right. Should have the first down. However, no whistles yet as the play continues. 50 seconds before finally the whistle is sounded. We'll wait to see where forward progress is. Look like he's close, but we'll wait to see.
Don't worry about it.
They're going to go for it again regardless if it's...
Yeah, I would think so. Tim Croker going to take a look at it. They had to get to the 4-yard line, and it looks like the ball's on the 3, and indeed it is.
There you go.
A first down. First and goal for Saskatchewan inside the Ashdown Furniture Interior Appliances, Ashdown's Furniture Appliances and Interiors red zone. Here we go, 48 seconds. Shager in the gun, back to pass, looks, end zone, touchdown, Riders!
That's the local kid, Daniel Weed.
Braden Shager finds his man in the end zone, and yes,
not
goes
Daniel
down,
Weed.
Stand up and cheer. It's Daniel Weed on a touchdown reception.
Daniel Weed, two-step slant inside. Shager, not a lot of time, knows where he wants to go. He's got an inside receiver who runs the defensive back into the back of the end zone, so Weave's in a one-on-one situation, and he's got leverage because of the quick slant. Shager puts it on him, and what a way to finish a camp. Well, it's not done yet, but just the exhibition season for Daniel Weed, because he's really had a great camp. So to see him catch a touchdown pass and potentially the game-winning touchdown pass is a real treat, especially for the local fans here.
Point after attempt to come, 42 seconds left to go in the football game. The kickoff from Alex Hale is up and good. And it's now 31-27, the Saskatchewan Roughriders lead. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers with just 42 seconds left. Go through your Nelson TM and Assiniboia and Avonlea touchdown drive. The Saskatchewan Roughriders got the football with Braden Shager all the way back deep in their own zone. They started it back at their 11-yard line. 7 plays, 84 yards, and a Daniel Weed 3-yard touchdown reception caps it to put the Riders back in front, 31-27. Yeah,
and really it kind of all comes together, right? It feels like everybody in the Saskatchewan Roughriders offense kind of settled down. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers weren't able to get the pressure that we were seeing in the third quarter. Yet Shager there back being able to sort of calmly go through his progressions when he had time. And then even against the blitz, they were making the right decisions. The receivers really understood what they needed to do in terms of who needed to cut their route short. And the result is a touchdown. I mean, and that's a bunch of young guys out there, so it's a feather in their cap, because that's a really sort of unique CFL situation, right? You're backed up in your red zone, you need a score, and there's not a lot of time on the clock. It's really great film that they're going to get to evaluate there.
Jonathan Kim, kicks it off up to the 25, 35, 37-yard lines, out of bounds as the returner for the Blue Bombers, and it was Singer that was on it, and now we'll see if the Bombers can find a response with 37 seconds left to go.
Singer's played well for the Bombers. They've had a few guys play well. I think that both quarterbacks, Elgersma and Bryce Perkins, played well when Zach Caleros shut it down after a series. Kevin Clercius was playing well until he left the game.
Name star is going to be a decision for sure.
Well, here's a defensive lineman. You love this situation because you know that Winnipeg's in pass mode. They're not going to rely on the run here.
Bryce Perkins, the quarterback for the Bombers. 1st and 10, back to pass. Looking, doesn't see anything, pulls it down. Going to go for a run. He'll slide feet first at the 45-yard line of Winnipeg after a gain of about 6.
The refs missed a holding call against Justin Weaver, left end there. He bent the corner and got brought down.
31 seconds to go.
Again, get your best pass rush move ready if you're a defensive lineman.
2nd down and 4 for Winnipeg. Perkins back to pass. Riders drop into coverage. Ball delivered. It's complete into Rider territory, down to the 47-yard line of Saskatchewan.
That's a good throw from Bryce Perkins. 5-step drop.
Herford on the reception for the Bombers. We're 1st and 10 at the Riders 47, 22 seconds left.
Knocking on the door.
Perkins in the gun. 3 receivers to his left now. He's back to pass. Riders rush forward. Perkins feels the heat. Gets brought down. It's a Quill Plains Chevrolet sack for Saskatchewan into the backfield. It's Justin Weaver.
Well, he was so productive in Kentucky. And he's just a kid that everybody sees as potentially special. He's been working so hard. He got held the last time, and here he finally wins his pass rush, and his effort pays off. And now the Bombers will have a last-ditch attempt here. It's 2nd and the Merlis-Belcher complex. So there's a lot of yards here that they got to gain. You'll see the Riders drop back into a deep zone. They'll keep everything in front of them.
14.5 seconds to go.
If you're a defensive lineman here, use the width. Line up wide, right? Really stress those tackles.
2nd and 22 for Winnipeg. Ball on their own 52-yard line. Perkins calls for it and is back to pass. Has time initially. Now it's picked off. Riders another interception. Bring it across center field, and the Riders will ice it at Griffith Stadium with another big interception by Benny Sapp III. Pardon me, that isn't Benny. That's by Jones.
By Jones is just in coverage, right? And again, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers used 2 of the receivers they had to stay in as blockers. And so that really limited the options that Bryce Perkins was going to have to work with. And Riders just sort of sit back there in a zone, and Perkins throws it to one of them. So now we'll get in victory formation. And this was one of the coolest experiences in my 10 years in the booth. Calling a game at Husky Stadium in front of what a great energy that was brought by these fans, and it's good to see them go home with a win.
Knee gets taken by Braden Shager. Flag gets waved by Tim Croker, and the game is over. On the Quality Tires scoreboard, the Saskatchewan Roughriders defeat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers 31-27. Quality Tire with 9 locations across Saskatchewan and at qualitytire.ca as we're going to get set to go downstairs momentarily and join Tegan Whitco as the Riders come from behind to defeat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers here today in front of a boisterous crowd at Griffith Stadium. Our offensive and defensive game stars come up, and get ready to have some fun with your horns, Saskatchewan, because the Happy Honker Award is about to be once again given away as we go downstairs to Tegan Whitco. Tegan?
I am here with a very familiar name to this crowd in Saskatoon, Daniel Weeb, number 87. You caught that touchdown pass. It looked like you were just waiting for that moment to explode. What did you see in that touchdown pass?
Man, just a great throw from Shager there. I mean, it was open, he threw it well, and yeah, we got the win. That's all that matters.
Now, you're no stranger to catching touchdown passes in this stadium, but how did this one feel different?
It felt really good. You know, the start of the game, I wasn't playing as good as I was hoping for, but, you know, just trying to play by play every single play, so try to get a little better, and, you know, ended off good. Yeah, it meant a lot being at home for sure in front of the hometown crowd, too.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, what does the rest of training camp look like for you? What are you looking to improve upon? I
got to be better in, honestly, every aspect. Like I said, today I didn't play as good as I was hoping for. Lots to improve on for sure. There's a lot of adjustment for sure, so I just got to keep getting better, keep showing them I'm trying my best, and just keep working for sure.
Daniel Weeb with the touchdown for the Saskatchewan Roughriders tonight. Congratulations on that, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dave?
Thanks so much, Tegan Whitco. The Saskatchewan Roughriders victorious here at Griffith Stadium. We're going to take a break and come back with our 5th quarter post-game show. That's on the way next. Whoop. What a day at Saskatoon. This is Saskatchewan Roughrider football on the 620 CKRM Cooperators Rider Broadcast Network.